Hello, chess fans. I'm here with one of the competitors in the upcoming all-in match, Jonathan versus Caleb. Jonathan Schrantz, one of the foremost YouTube chess personalities. Jonathan, you are the lower-rated player in this match against Caleb Denby. Do you consider yourself the underdog?
Absolutely not. I'm really looking forward to this event. Yeah, I know I'm lower rated, and I have to be honest though, it's been a long time since I've been this motivated to get into a match, and I'm really looking forward to getting into it with Caleb. I'm taking this very seriously. I'm training really hard. I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking about this match. I'm ready to totally take him on, and I think I should be able to take him down.
I know that nobody wants to think about losing a match, but would losing to Caleb hurt your reputation in the chess community?
It would destroy me. I absolutely cannot lose to this guy. I'm putting too much work into this. I'm trying every second of every day. This is all I'm focused on, is winning this match, and I'm going to do it.
I'm sitting here with Caleb Denby, one of the participants in the upcoming Strong Expert chess match titled Jonathan versus Caleb. This is going to be one for the ages, and it's not too much further from now, is it, Caleb? What do you think your expectations are in this match? What are your chances to win against Jonathan?
Well, I fully expect to win. I'm not sure why Jonathan actually agreed to this. I don't think he really stands a chance at all of doing this. So, you know, I always felt like more of a joke to me and I'm kind of surprised he's willing to go through this.
I understand you're working with a very special member of the chess community, Dennis LaRue, with your prep. Tell us a little bit. What can you share with us, Caleb?
Well, Dennis had a very interesting approach. It was definitely the most exhausting prep I've ever done for anything in my life.
Well, exhausting is not something you usually hear with this kind of matchup. What exactly can you share with us?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into too many details or anything, but yeah, I mean, we worked very hard to prepare for this match, and you know, spent a lot of time, a lot of early mornings, working to get here.
As I understand, we have some video footage of your training camp, and we're going to take a look at it right now.
Dennis, what are we doing out here?
Listen, Caleb, Jonathan's fast. He's fast, like greased lightning. If you want to beat him, you're going to need speed.
Dennis, I'm not going to chase this chicken around. I feel like a Kentucky Fried Idiot.
All right, you ready to do some speed training?
I guess, Dennis.
Let's go. You got to chase the chickens. This is how we did it in the old days. What's wrong with you? You can't even catch the chicken? Where's the chicken?
That's all I got.
What are you laying around for? I didn't hear no bell. Speed!
To you, what is on the line, truthfully, in this match? You talk a big game, Caleb, but what is on the line for you?
Well, I mean, just my reputation as chess club staff champion. I've definitely went all in preparing for this match, and yeah, I refuse to lose.
With this Rapid and Blitz match, it's coming up awfully quick. Do you feel like you're ready for Caleb?
There's nothing I've ever been more ready for than in my life. This is what I've been dreaming of every day for the last couple months, and I have to say, I'm all in.
And we are live. Welcome back to St. Louis, everybody, for a very special event. My name is Ben Simon, and I'm joined by Grandmaster Denes Boros, and we are here for a match about 6 months in the making, at least. This is all in Jonathan versus Caleb, the strongest chess expert level match in history. Boros, are you excited for today?
For 6 draws, always.
Well, it could be, although it's kind of unlikely. So if you've been following our YouTube channel for any amount of time, you're familiar with this man, Jonathan Schrantz. Jonathan Schrantz, born 1988, 30 years old, a longtime staff member of the St. Louis Chess Club. He played his first tournament in 2011, and today it's important to note that 3 USCF ratings will be on the line. The regular for classical, the Blitz, and in between the quick rating. And his ratings are as follows. Jonathan Schrantz has a USCF classical of 1875, a quick of 1706, but oddly enough, his Blitz is 2026. So he's an awesome Blitz player, although he's never won anything. But he's come close.
So maybe he should wait till his time hits 5 minutes and start playing.
Yeah, well, we'll be looking at the format in just a bit, but he's going to be hoping that Blitz definitely pulls him through in this match. Schrantz grew up in San Diego and then went to college at St. Louis University's campus in Madrid, Spain. I guess he likes SLU so much, he came to the real St. Louis afterward and started work here at the St. Louis Chess Club. Now, the thing about Jonathan, he's a serious chess player, as you saw in that opening montage. He was booking it up. He was talking with Grandmaster Pepe Cuenca. But also, I noticed we may have exposed his prep a little bit, unfortunately. I don't know if we got anything for that, but hopefully Caleb didn't see it to keep this match on the up and up. I really hope so.
We have seen a lot of chicken.
Yeah.
Caleb's prep.
On the other side, if we have Caleb available, we can talk about him. I don't know if he's in the tournament hall as of yet. Caleb Denby, only 20 years old, just had his birthday last month. He is running this extremely popular YouTube series on Wednesday nights where he gets you on the road to 2000. And today, he wants to school Jonathan Schrantz on his road to 2000. Caleb Denby played his first tournament actually before Jonathan, back in 2010. His USCF ratings are, well, it's funny because they're a little bit similar to Jonathan's situation. There you see Caleb there with the chicken that he caught in that montage. He is the 2019 staff tournament champion. We had that tournament back in January. He was the clear winner. His classical is 2133 USCF, and his Rapid and Blitz ratings USCF are 1814, and then Blitz, of course, is higher than the quick 1987. And Caleb has lived in the St. Louis area his entire life. He attended Highland High School just on the edge of the metro area over in Metro East, Illinois. Now, about Caleb, I asked going into this match if he was prepping the right way. And I asked him if he could share any insights into his training methods. And then I saw that footage, a real throwback of Mickey Goldmill, Rocky II. And we saw how Rocky II ended. And it could mean good things for Mr. Denby. So the players are upstairs in the tournament hall preparing for their match. And in just a moment, we're going to be looking at exactly what's on the line and our match format and how exactly this will be contested. Now, as far as the match format goes, we will have a combination of rapid and blitz games. There will be 2 rapid games to start, and the time control for those is game in 25 minutes with a 5-second delay. And that's the only delay you're going to see all day, okay? And they're starting here, but I'm going to keep going over the format before we get to the game. We will have 4 Blitz games after that, and if necessary, we will have 1 Armageddon at the end. Now, the way that these games are weighted, each rapid game is worth 2 points. There you see there. Each one of those rapid games, game in 25, 5-second delay, is worth 2 points. 1 point will get you, you'll get that from a draw. As far as the Blitz games, each one of those is worth 1 point and a half point for a draw. So 8 points total on the line here, and the first person to clinch 4.5 points is the winner. Then the match is over. So if one person sweeps both rapid games, then we will. It could take just 1 Blitz game to end the match if it's a clean sweep. Of course, you don't really want that to happen. So it looks like the players have started their games. We want to remind you that the social media chat is open on our YouTube channel. This is exclusively on YouTube. And
yep, and we're straight into the Carcon.
okay. So we're going to get a closer look at the board here in just a moment. Hopefully we're getting these microphones fixed here in the studio so you guys can hear us. So it's interesting to note Mike Kummer called in today, and while he's off work today, he said that Caleb Denby is the heavy favorite. I think he said a 3-1.
3-1.
3-1 favorite. Now, he is higher rated. And Caleb Denby also has a FIDE and universal rating, a classical FIDE, that is. Universal rating system counts classical, rapid, and blitz. He's a 2009, but it's really tough. You can't really compare much here because Jonathan doesn't have one of those. But
We have some lines here.
okay.
And it's the Carcon, which is not shocking at all. Big preparation by the vampire chicken.
Which is what Jonathan goes by
What Jonathan
online.
goes
Yes.
by, yeah. I wonder why Caleb was chasing a chicken then. It's a good question. Because both of them like chickens?
Have you seen Rocky 2, Dennis?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
We're off to a smashing start here in St. Louis. Let me cozy on up to you.
Yep.
Get in the frame here. So, what do we have here so far?
So far, all theory, both of them seem to be booked up. And they're following the old match, World Championship match, played between Kramnik and Leko. As if we...
2004.
2004, Brissago, if you like.
Yeah,
Then-
cigar company, yeah.
Then you might have visited the match and got some for free. Actually, I'm not sure about that one, but... So anyways, they're following the main line so far. Oh, is that 9 jumping backwards? No. Okay, it was just a little bit of a glitch. What? Why is that 9 going backwards?
Well, there we have a shot of the live
Oh,
board.
okay,
Is
yes.
that accurate?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. So far so good. Bishop e7 is not the line what Leko played. Leko played queen c7 and went for the classical run, which ended in a draw that game. Actually, 2 of them were played before. So what is your expectation? Will we see blood in this first round?
I think that we're not going to see a lot of draws in this entire match.
Really?
Yes, I think that this is going to
even
be
6.
quite decisive. Now, Caleb's been kind of goofing off, right? He's the staff tournament
Yeah.
champion. Now, we were talking about Rocky 2. He might be in, like, Rocky and Rocky 3, like the early part of that. You know, and things didn't go well for Rocky in that one. So we got to see if he is taking Jonathan lightly. Jonathan has been talking with every GM in Res we've had here at the St. Louis Chess Club. And, I mean, more than just Pepe. We got Pepe on video there. And it might be some more insight into Jonathan's opening prep. But besides that, what we have here is a tale of age, experience, and the youth. I mean, look, Caleb hasn't topped out yet. We don't know what his limitations are at just 20 years old. He's one of the most well-spoken, best instructors we have here at the St. Louis Chess Club.
I think he's too good to be true.
You think he? Oh, you think
Yes.
he's hype?
Yes.
Okay.
He's just the sweet talker that you're supposed to like. But I think there's a deeper truth beneath that. Look at that guy who's bearded. I mean, Jonathan.
Yes, that guy, that man
That
right
guy.
there. Yes.
He shows no emotions. Perfect player.
I wonder if we could get a closer look at the board from this angle, because this is a very intriguing moment. Seeing the look on Jonathan's face, he said that if he loses this match, it would crush him. It would devastate him. His reputation could be done.
I can see that. Just look, just close up onto his face. That look, those eyes are fixated at the board.
He might be crying. No, he's not crying.
No, he's not crying
Hey,
yet.
we've got a very active chat. We want to thank all of you for joining us. Former manager of the St. Louis Chess Club, Alex Marler, said he is so excited he took off work today to watch this match.
Attaboy.
How about that? Hello in Baltimore. Colin Meyer says, "Go Caleb!" And Piggy Pig Pig is here as always. So about the analysis, does either player have an edge right here, Boros?
Well, actually, we have to catch up a little bit.
Let's do that.
So they went for a classical mainline. Takes. Oop, let me update my computer. It takes Queen D5. So Caleb here is trying to exchange queens because he's behind space. So he wants to exchange pieces because he's way behind development. On the other hand, Jonathan is trying to checkmate. So he goes bishop e3 and says, no exchanges for you. I'm gonna destroy you. And you can feel the tension. Look how Caleb is thinking. He's like, oh my God, he's going to mate me. Oh my goodness.
That dramatic, eh?
Yeah. Like, people don't talk about these emotions that we show.
And this is a very emotional match.
Yes, it's the most emotional.
Some bad blood here.
Yes.
These guys have had a feud here in the St. Louis Chess Club that we are settling here today. And I gotta mention something. I talked about all the three different ratings before, and I actually skipped something since they started a little prematurely. There are two time controls that we're seeing here in regulation. The game in 25 with a 5 delay, and then Blitz is 5 minutes, no delay, no increment. It's sudden death. It's going to get crazy, and we're just going to have to zoom in on the board because the DGT will be useless when we're going that fast. It's going to be crazy. But my point is, the Blitz will be rated USCF Blitz. The 25 with a 5 will be rated USCF regular and quick, or what we call classical and rapid.
Is it also URS rated?
No, this will not be rated by FIDE or the Universal Rating System, and it's simply because we don't have we don't have matching ratings to go head to head with each other. So this will be USCF rated. We want to mention that our chief arbiter is Sam Choiquette up in the tournament hall. He's all decked out in a suit and tie. Looks a little bit like me. You know, we know how to style and profile. He's making sure everything is running smoothly. We want to give a shout out to Sam Choiquette. So back to the game.
So we've got an aggressive move by Caleb, trying to gain more space and attack Jonathan's king. But Jonathan doesn't look impressed. He looks at Caleb and says, buddy, I'll be faster than you. And he's just basking in the glory of his position right now. While you can see how Caleb is praying. Look at those praying hands. It's like, please don't checkmate me.
Very observant, yes.
I know. Like, psychology is actually overlooked in this game. And Caleb might show more than he usually does. That's like, when you look at people who are softly spoken, they have a lot to hide.
I also want to mention that Jonathan has just arrived back in town after a 15 to 18 hour car ride.
Wow.
He was down in Florida with his family, and he made it just back in the nick of time for this match. There's so many X factors in this match.
Must have been traumatic.
I have no idea. I mean, it's tiring at the very least. The thing is, he's back, and he said he's ready to play. We said, hey, are you going to make it, man? Are you going to make it? Made it just in the nick of time, but he's got to be tired. He's got to be exhausted. That's got to take its toll. And he's the underdog in this match. But there's no excuses, even though I'm making them right now. It's winner take all.
I mean, he did play the boss move, knight e5, which actually signals that, hey, man, I'm here for all the marbles. And you can see Caleb is under some pressure. He's trying to defend his neck, just like a true Highlander. Because, you know, one chop, and there can be only one.
Yes.
I'm not even sure what Caleb will do here. And I'm not even sure he knows. What's your take on that? Am I just exaggerating all these feelings to Caleb?
I think so. Honestly, I think so, because Caleb is a very sound mind. He's very calm, and although his regimen was a little odd with the chicken, I think he is taking this seriously right now, as seriously as you can take this this rapid or quick game. It's a difference in terminology, by the way. Quick, USCF, rapid, FIDE, everything
Don't you use active for rapid sometimes?
Or action chess. Yeah, actually,
chess,
when I was playing in Scholastic Chess, Gateway Chess League, I played with Caleb Denby. He's like 10 years younger than me. But we both played in the Gateway Chess League. And yeah, there's those action tournaments, game in 30. So yeah, it has a lot of different terminologies. Wikipedia says, oh, to heck with it. We're just calling it fast chess. And that's what we're playing today.
So actually, Jonathan is giving this g2 pawn away. And he tries to look as bored as possible. Saying, oh, I blundered a pawn. Please take it. Take my pawn. Because if Caleb would take on g2, then Jonathan would go rawr and attack on the g line that would open up. But I'm not sure that Caleb will take it. But notice the time difference. Jonathan is up 21 minutes, while Denby's only 19 minutes, and he's still thinking. And I think he's out of book.
You know, I bet you that Caleb isn't even thinking of taking that g2 pawn.
Why not? It's so juicy.
It's too obvious. Come on, you're selling Caleb short.
But it's a juicy pawn. I love juicy pawns.
Anything could happen in this
Anything
match, I
could
suppose. In our chat, a club employee upstairs, Nick Risco, says, if Jonathan loses, he should shave off the beard. If Caleb loses, he should grow his hair back out. Why didn't we think of that?
I mean, he would have like a Rastafari hair?
Yeah, you remember how Caleb used to have the kind of the big, shaggy hair?
I still would go the Jamaican style. I prefer the Jamaican.
It's harder to do, those dreadlocks.
I know, but it's cooler.
So is there any revelations in this game or anything? Because Jonathan has a 3-minute lead right now.
Yeah, I think, Jonathan, you need to enjoy your moment. You're torturing your opponent. He can barely move. And actually, Caleb played the move, b4, trying really hard to checkmate Jonathan, which will not happen, or shouldn't happen. So this is going to be basically a race between the two sides. Who's faster? White is trying to mount the pawns and go g4, g5, while black will do the opposite and go a5, a4, and a3. So I'm honestly putting my money on Jonathan. He's well prepared, he's confident. I don't see a reason why Jonathan wouldn't win this game.
It's everything to gain here for Jonathan. And longtime viewers of the St. Louis Chess Club YouTube channel know that Jonathan gained fame as the host of Chess Openings Explained.
Yes.
I think back in 2015 is when he started that series. And for about 2 years, give or take a few months or something, he went over obscure openings, main lines, side lines, and he would prep for so long. Like we saw in that intro, he would book up on these things. He would put at least, I'm not exaggerating, at least 10 to 12 hours prep to each class that we would have on Monday nights here at the club. And you know, I kind of miss his classes, but the thing is, the time that he's had away, we don't know about his progress. We don't know what he's bringing to the table in this match against Caleb. So it could work in his favor.
Yeah, he's been preparing in the shadows, and, you know, just keeping the boxing terminology, I would give huge points for him. He won this basic, getting into this match. I feel Jonathan's ready. He gets
What?
the technical point.
Of what?
He gets the advantage for sure.
Okay.
He's out there, he's swinging, and Caleb is like, "Don't hit me, don't hit me," and he's in full defensive. That B4 is like a counter punch.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a true threat. And yes, Jonathan goes, "I know you're joking. That B4 is just a meme. Let's go G4." And he goes G4, knight E4. Well, he's trying to defend actively, even maybe trying tricks of knight C3, but it's just a mirage. It's not really a big threat yet. So I'd still think that this is a big attack for Jonathan.
Yeah, actually, Alex, or no, not Alex, 42 is answer. Oh, that's a nice username. We all know that's the answer
Yeah,
to the
that
universe,
is
of
the
course.
answer.
In our YouTube chat says the 10-part full semi-Slav series that Jonathan did as part of Chess Openings Explained is legendary. And I agree. I actually didn't think we would finish it all. I thought, you know, because people start a project and they lose interest. And no, we went all the way through. A 10-part semi-Slav series, it's something else. You should definitely check it out later on today.
I think Jonathan is thinking now, how should I wrap this game up? Should I go easy on him? Just look at him. Should I be going easy? Should I checkmate him now?
So you really have no confidence in Caleb in this game? You think it's done?
Not much. I think if Jonathan does it correctly and defends these illusions that's around his king, I think that he'd have a chance to wrap this game and win.
And this game is worth 2 points. Remember, this is a dual stage match here, Rapid and Blitz. 2 Rapid games worth 2 points each, 1 point for a draw. And then the Blitz is worth 1 point each, half point for a draw. So 8 points total on the line. First to 4.5 is the champion. No more games are played. If the match is tied in regulation 4-4, we will have a 5-minute versus 4-minute Armageddon. But I would be surprised, honestly, if we get there. I feel like this will be decided in regulation.
Possibly, but I still expect draws.
Okay.
You seem pessimistic.
No,
about
no,
my
no, no,
observation. And I feel hurt, honestly.
Right. And someone was asking for the USCF ratings. Hey, we're exclusively on YouTube right now, so I'll tell you straight up, Caleb is 2133 USCF, and Jonathan is 1875 USCF. And we're talking about USCF ratings because this is only US chess rated today. Not FIDE, no universal ratings on the line. This is just all 3 US chess ratings that will be affected. This is dual rated classical and rapid.
So actually I have a theory.
Go ahead.
I think that Jonathan sat down as we saw him preparing. He must have been thinking, okay, I'm outrated in classical and rapid, but in Blitz, I have 100 points advantage.
Yes.
So how would you act in his place? Would you try to think as much as possible so we'll get into the Blitz zone? Or would you keep it in the classical rapid zone where you would be behind rating points?
Well, it's definitely got to be a confidence boost for him going into the Blitz, right? So even if he's down coming out of this game in 25 section, he will think, hey, I can probably get the better part of the 4 points, 4 points available to me in the Blitz. So, so that can work in his favor in that way.
So he took a little time and played Rook D G1, which is a brave move, but very dangerous. Because black is ready to attack white now with this blistering sacrifice on c3, takes stakes, and I'm not confident it's winning for black, but it's quite dangerous. So I feel that this move rook dg1 might have been a little bit too slow. So I would have preferred moving the king to the side, just getting ready for any nasty tricks Caleb would have in his sleeves. But anyways, rook dg1 was played, and now, even though I don't like the move, I like the way Jonathan is playing. He oozes confidence. He plays fast, unlike Denby, who's quite slow. And I think that's going to hunt and bite Denby in the arse later.
Well, yeah, I mean, a two-minute deficit here in this section is a little bit more than a 2-minute deficit in a long game. So it could make all the difference. But remember, there's still a 5-second delay. So if someone's down, they can play on that delay. Later on in the Blitz section, there's no delay, there's no increment. It's just 5 minutes. It's like street chess.
Street chess.
Street chess. That's what they play outside on the street here in St. Louis.
And
it's crazy.
And also in New York.
Do you know how many fights break out because, you know, someone flew a king across the board or something?
Have you,
and
have you experienced any of them?
I refuse. I refuse to play 5 minutes, no increment, no delay. I absolutely refuse. I will have to play with a delay or increment. Well, because there's always fights that break out.
Yeah, that's
People
the good
always
point.
disagree. Oh, I can't stand it.
You hate it?
I cannot stand it. And Sam Shoykett, the arbiter, has his hands full later on today.
Well, can he stop both of them at the same time?
It'd be like, man, Sam Shoykett, as far as going by the book, being like a real by the book TD, Mike's not going to like me saying this. He does remind me a lot of Mike Hummer because they are definitely by the book, and he knows that rule book.
So if someone
like
hits you, he'll said only with one hand and hit the right clock.
He knows everything.
He knows everything.
Yeah, it will be
so
fine.
if there's a fight breaking out, he knows how to stop them.
Well, we're talking physical here now. We might need to
call a little bit physical.
Call in the big guns.
Yes.
So
anyways, I'm thinking that with the time passing, I like Jonathan's chances more and more. Because look at the clock. Denby has 13 minutes. Jonathan has 17. And if Caleb won't checkmate, I think the rating average will decide. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good assessment. And one thing I wanted to talk about, we haven't really touched on it yet, is that while Jonathan has been working with all of the top grandmasters that have been around in the club, Caleb was working with Dennis LaRue, who also used to teach tactics time here at the club and is a YouTube personality in his own right. After the chicken chasing incident, I am told Caleb released Dennis from his managerial and training contract, which is quite unfortunate.
Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake.
You know, look, Caleb, big head, you know, might let his trainer go. Maybe it's a good choice, maybe it's a bad choice, but it's a good thing for us because big news, joining us as part of our broadcast team later on today in his own corner segment will be the one and only Dennis LaRue. Can't wait for that. It's going to be great.
So, talking about tactics, Denby played the rook to b8, which is the reason he misses LaRue's guidance. Now, I'm sure LaRue would play knight c3, takes, and go for checkmate. And whatever happens, happens. Now, rook b8 is a little bit, how should I put it, naive. It's like, oh, I'll just attack and, oh, knight c3 check and I'll be losing. And I'm sure just look at Jonathan now. He's like, oh, you think I don't see knight c3 check coming? Of course he sees that.
So where do you put the queen?
Oh my God. He actually missed it. Well,
what did he do? What did he do?
He actually moved the pawn, as far as I see, inviting Caleb to do what he actually wanted to do, is this LaRue classic knight c3 check sacrifice. He's kind of forcing him to do it. This might be the meme of the day.
Okay, knight c3, check. B takes, check. The
Yep.
rook is now attacking the white
Yep.
king. What happens there?
So if the king tries to run, then checky on a3. The king tries to flee on the queen side, but then...
Can we play this on the board? I don't know if it's possible.
I don't know if... Oh, yes. we
Hey, look
can.
at that.
Yeah.
How about
we
that?
can do that.
And we will never get back to the real game.
Yes. So bishop a3 here,
Yeah.
and a nice little check, and you've got mated, my friend.
Is there any way out of this?
There's no way out of this. The other try that I can do is the king a1 move, but here Caleb can try to checkmate two ways. He can go rook b2, where queen c4 kind of saves Jonathan for the moment, but it looks very dicey, to be honest. Or bring the bishop in here, threatening all kinds of ideas of bishop b2s. And
Okay, but on the surface, king a1 is the superior move because you're not losing immediately.
yes, you're not losing immediately, but this does look very dicey. So I'm not quite sure I like this move f3. I would never invite black to sack, even though he might survive. But now this is the big question for Caleb. Should he go knight c3 and try to win on the spot, or play something else and lose? What would you do?
Well, based on what I've seen, knight c3 definitely.
Knight c3 is on your agenda?
Yeah, and people in the chat agree. Knight c3 in an instant.
But will knight c3 be the meme of the day? Can the chat help?
The meme of the day.
Meme of the day. I'm sure there's a chance that we'll have...
I'm no longer sure I understand what the meaning of meme is.
I don't know anyone who understands memes ever. So
I thought it was a picture with words on it.
yeah,
that you
but I
share
mean,
online.
this could become the meme of the day. This knight c3.
All right, someone put some words on that.
Yep. And look at Caleb. He's full on God mode now. He's trying to calculate everything. He's trying to cover his eyes so he can't trick himself. And he's trying to rely on his brain. Not his eyes, his brain.
Are you surprised he hasn't played knight c3 yet?
I'm a little surprised, yes. I think he's still kind of in shock. He's trying not to play too quickly.
I wonder what Jonathan's thinking at this point. Like, we thought that Jonathan was in the driver's seat, and
Yeah.
now it looks like he may have given the game away.
Possibly. But look at
right?
his poker face. I mean, it helps he wears a beard. If you have a
Masterful
bad...
poker face.
Yes, masterful poker face. So if you don't have a poker face, grow a beard. It actually helps having you build a new kind of mimic. And also, it might help you win games. Look, he's also playing with his beard, saying, oh, I know you're thinking of knight c3. I'm not concerned. Not at all. But maybe he's also thinking that he might have missed the tea party. Do they have tea parties in St. Louis?
Actually, there's a tea house up the street.
Up the street?
They do have tea parties. I went
Really?
there one time with my grandma, and it was a little embarrassing.
Ah,
Yeah.
I thought your grandma would love it.
The tea was great. It was very overpriced,
Oh.
though.
I think that's what Jonathan was thinking. Did I miss the tea party? The Friday tea party?
Can we get a shot of, I don't know if we have Caleb's face. I want to see what he could possibly be
he's been
thinking.
hiding.
I mean, because he's really giving this some thought. Knight c3
Yeah.
has not been played
Yeah,
as of
it
yet.
hasn't been played yet. But, I mean, it itches to be played.
There it is.
And there it is. The golden
Oh.
moment. Knight c3 just happened.
Boros, this could be over rather quickly, don't you think?
Well, it's possible, but let's wait. Maybe Jonathan has some huge defensive ideas. Yep, knight c3 plate, takes. And now we have to find the best defensive move, king a1. The other one loses immediately. Do we have any questions about this game so far?
From me?
From you or the audience
YouTube
or
audience?
the chat. If you have any questions, ask away in the chat.
Well, first of all, people are talking about engines, as is always the topic of conversation. And I know you have a lot of ideas about Alpha Zero and the
some
other
ideas
engines.
about Alpha Zero,
We have
yes.
some videos on that. But as far as the chat goes, guys, we got to tell you right now, we don't have any engine turned on. This game is not on Chess 24. This game is not on Lee Chess. This is not anywhere we're going to see an evaluation. We could turn it on our computer right now. We refuse. We refuse because we got this guy's brain right here, and he's the best. That's all we need.
That's all we need, yes.
And if we're way off, we're way off. Okay, this is a lot of fun.
So king a1 was played. Very good defense so far by Jonathan. And this looks super dangerous, I'll be honest with you. I'd be scared, I'd be shaking if I'd be white. But look at Jonathan. He's a model of a super player. He shows no emotions. Says, I'm going to beat you even though I'm lost. I'm still going to beat you. I'm a confident man. I know what I'm doing.
I don't know about that anymore. I don't know about that. I mean, look, I think Jonathan knows
he's
what's
drinking
up.
water like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, his mouth is probably really dry right now because of the nerves.
Look, he also gets
knows
some
he just
coffee,
threw
too.
it away.
If I'd be drinking 2 different beverages at the same time, I think I'd be confident.
Well, anything can happen here. I mean, look at Caleb's time. Now he's down by a 9-minute deficit.
Yeah. He has 6 minutes, so it's actually getting dicey for Caleb. Because if he doesn't checkmate, I think we're going to see a draw.
2-result game, yeah? There's no way Jonathan's going to win this. You agree?
No, I'm not sure that Jonathan won't win this. I'm saying Caleb will chicken out. At the last second, he's going to chicken out. He's going to chicken.
See what you did there.
Yep. So he could go bishop a3, knight c4, check. Now, weirdly enough, even king b1 could be an idea. And actually, bishop a3 was played. Man, Caleb knows what he's doing. And he's preparing this bishop b2 check idea. Now, there's 2 ways of defending against this. Either with rook b1, trying to sacrifice your rook for the bishop. But that is very dangerous. Like, white can defend, but that's a cornered king. I don't like that.
Why did you play queen a6?
So I played queen a6 because queen takes a2 felt like painful.
I agree.
So I tend to avoid pain if possible.
Yeah.
Knight c4, I would even consider sneaky ideas like queen b5. And if, let's say, queen d3, let's do the good old rook b8 and be tough to stop this rook b1 ideas, and maybe even queen a4s. But actually, rook b1 is quite painful right now. So let's say queen d1, trying to avoid checkmate. Then queen a4, takes, and loss is imminent as the a2 is hanging. Now, instead of rook b1, knight c4 is an idea. And for some reason, I kind of feel rook c4 looks like one of the best ways to defend here. Although, knight c4...
Okay, Jonathan has elected for bishop c1.
Bishop c1.
As a defense.
I did want to mention, though, that knight c4, I have this neat little idea of queen b5. Because if you would take on a3, whoops, I take your queen.
Yeah.
But if you don't do that, I'll have this sneaky bishop b2 check with the same trick. So here, checks. And probably you'll have to take with the rook, because otherwise your queen will be hanging. And if you like mating better,
yeah,
just takes.
right. Nice. I don't even need the queen.
You don't even need the queen. You just checkmate. So anyway, takes, and bishop c1 was played. Good defense.
The best defense?
It might be the best defense. And if we look at the time difference, John is up a whole 10 minutes on the clock. That's confidence right there.
And now Caleb is playing a blitz game.
Yep.
Fundamentally.
And if he's playing the blitz game, you know what that means. It's Jonathan time. It's vampire time.
Vampire Chicken. That's his chess.com user, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the well-known vampire chicken.
And Caleb has a username online. I think it's is it Llama Lord? I think it's Llama Lord. Yeah, so people might have seen that on his lectures when he teaches on Lee chess.
So it seems to me
The Llama Lord, pardon me.
that Caleb played a move. Let's see what he played.
We don't have that move yet, it looks
don't
like.
have the
Let's see if
move
we can
yet.
tell what happened.
Rook b2 was played. Wow.
Something we haven't looked at all, I don't
Wow. It does seem that Caleb is going all in.
think. Hey, how about that?
He's packing the punches. He learned from those chickens.
You gotta have speed.
Yes, you've got to have speed.
Greasy, fast speed.
But this bishop c1 move was a good defense. Rook b2 is very creative, but I'm not convinced. I'm sorry, I'm not convinced at all that this is that good. I have a feeling that... And he played knight c4. Very good defensive play.
No,
so
he
far.
played queen c4.
Queen c4. Actually, I'd like knight c4 better. Trying to exchange it off. Queen c4, maybe this won't be a winner. I think knight c4 might have been a clincher. Because he would have
A clincher
threatened
for
to-
whom?
For white, for
Okay.
Jonathan. Jonathan Schrantz would have had a chance to win this. So, but with queen c4, as Denby correctly played rook fb8, forcing what we know as a draw.
Explain.
Explain. So, if I'd say, haha, I'll exchange queens, then you'd be sadly mistaken, because it's checkmate.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah,
you
I'm
are
sorry.
sadly mistaken.
Yes. So he has no choice but to take this little gift. Actually, maybe he'll have another choice. But takes, if you take it with the pawn, we'll use it as a shelter and white will just win. So Caleb is forced to take with the bishop. King goes back. Bishop moves, check. Which is nice. It's always nice to check. Now, if Jonathan is on suicide mode, he can go queen b3, but then takes, and this is just an amazing position for black. And I would rather be black, because you're attacking, and these rooks are kind of useless. And what I would expect here is king a1, finding shelter, and then bishop b2, draws. The only question I have is what if I move my bishop instead of taking the b2 rook, which is a brave solution, but dicey. Let's say something like bishop e3. But that might be too dangerous after, say, rook takes c2, as bishop b2 is coming. And in any case, even if, let's say, c takes d5, I see big play for Caleb here. Even though he's down a piece, the king is too cornered. So what I'm expecting here is a draw. That's what I expect.
Oh, in the case of a draw, both players would be awarded 1 point because these two rapid games that start off the match are double weighted.
Yep.
So first to 4.5 total wins of the Blitz games. We'll have 4 of them later on, or up to 4 if necessary. and each game is worth 1 point. The match is decided and ends when one player achieves 4.5.
Yeah.
Best of 8.
So, I wonder.
Boris,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask
Yeah,
you,
let's
actually.
C4. I like that idea. Yes.
Unless you had an immediate line to show.
No, I
Okay.
was just referring that knight c4 might have been a little bit more ambitious.
Mhm.
Yes.
So, do you have history with these players? Have you sat down on a board and competed against them in a rated environment?
No, I've never played any of them.
No.
But I've seen Jonathan and I've seen his dedication. And I think we're in for a big match here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the whole match will be decided in the next game. I think if Jonathan will be able to match Caleb in the next game with the black color, I think we're going to see a full-fledged fight. What?
It all comes down to Blitz.
What's your take? Because I've heard you played some of them.
I've played them both.
You played them both.
Never beat either one of them. Not even close, really.
Even close.
Actually, when I played in the Gateway Chess League, Caleb was just, I think he was like in kindergarten or something, or first grade. And it was years later, I was coaching an elementary school chess team, Maplewood Richmond Heights, and I would take them to the chess tournaments in the area. How that works, it's a scholastic circuit. Actually, there's 2 scholastic circuits in the area. The chess club actually has their own. The Gateway Chess League is one that complements it. And so we were in the Gateway Chess League, and we'd be at all these different schools, and I'd be running the St. Louis Chess Club merchandise table and coaching. And all these kids would come up, they say, let's play, let's play, let's play. And I said, okay, and I'd play, and I beat them, you know. I mean, it's rare to find a kid over 1,200 at these things. And then Caleb comes, I'm like, who was this kid? And he just flat out destroys me. So, great memories. Never come close to beating Caleb.
So meanwhile, we're heading towards the main line. Actually, no. Jonathan decided, no, I'm going all in. And he went bishop f4, which we're waiting to pop up. Yes, and bishop f4 was played. So he says, no, I'm going to beat you. You have 4 minutes. I'm the Blitz expert. You're a nobody in Blitz. I'm going to destroy you. Do you think it was a wise decision?
Based on what we've seen, yeah. I mean, I think it was a fine decision. Do you feel, looking at this, that Jonathan is just still trying to survive? Do you have that feeling, or will you give him more credit?
I kind of feel that he seems very confident.
Rook takes C.
Rook takes c2, and we're going to see a fight here. I give full credits for Jonathan for going for this. This one's way more dangerous, but it's not a draw, and he says, I don't care, I'm going to destroy him. He's under 3 minutes soon. So probably he says, I'll go for this. I'll try my best to beat him.
Hey guys, big news. Nick Risco here at the Chess Club has just
hi,
posted
Nick.
this game as a lead chess study. That's pretty cool. So if you want evaluation and act like you're smarter than Grandmaster Denes Boros, you can click on that link that he just posted in the chat and head on over to Lead Chess, where you can see this game in progress. Yep, there it is. I'm looking at it right now. Very cool. Thank you, Nick.
Yep. Good job, Nick. So actually, queen exchange happened, and my assessment was kind of easier to play for black, because even though white is up a piece, we'll get there. Just a second. Queen d5 takes c takes d5 just played, and even though white is up a piece, his king is stranded, and these rooks are terrible. Even if you would try this one, I would come up with this idea. Takes, rook takes,
Oh, you're dead.
and you're basically dead. With these 2 rooks,
Yeah.
like you could try tricks, takes, even hoping for knight b4, which is not even a threat, because let's say I go here, check, and I go check, and bye-bye, you take your knight. I can even go a5 and say, oh, okay, you don't even have that trick anymore. and you're basically completely paralyzed here. And I'd say that Caleb is going to win here. So,
A few more moves have been played.
few more moves been played. Let's see. So, Rook B5 played. Interesting. So knight D3 was played first, trying to stop this bishop B2 idea. And probably a blunder. I think this is a blunder. Definitely Caleb should have played bishop B2, takes, rook B2, and he has full compensation. Those two rooks are monstrous.
Yeah.
He might be even just better here. And in any case, if he feels frightened, he can take and just take the draw. Now he played rook b5, thinking he has oceans of time. He can do anything. But here, John played the killer move, rook h2, which is very good. Because for the moment it seems that white can't do anything really useful. Maybe Caleb was thinking, oh, rook b1, then I have this nasty little trick and haha, I'll beat you. But John came up with this sneaky little rook lift, rook h2, saying, ha, I'm going to exchange your best piece. And now it's going to be a race. c2. Now either Jonathan will run out of time and won't have the defense against bishop c3 checkmate ideas, or he'll just come back, collect the pawn, and collect the game. And notice that Caleb is under 2 minutes.
Right.
So Jonathan just played bishop f4, f6, and I think this is the game for Jonathan to win.
What a game. Man, you couldn't have asked for more back and forths in this game. This is just game 1.
This is just game 1, and it's super exciting. But let me ask the chat, what do you think? And please use an engine. Do you think white is going to win or not?
Wait, you said please use an engine?
Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, you're the chat, you're the viewer. You can use an engine if you want to.
Okay.
So what's your pick? Who's going to win this game?
Pardon me, Dennis.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn on my engine here.
Oh, but don't tell me.
No, okay.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Everyone turn on your engines. 1, 2, 3, go.
Turn on your engines
Okay, here we go.
and send your messages.
Right. I got to be honest. I don't know where the engine eval
So-
pops up.
Honestly, I think the best way to play for white is bishop d2 and bishop c3 and trying to exchange this bishop. Bishop c1 is ill-advised because checkmate, and that's not a good idea. But I think Jonathan is either a newborn machine or he's just reading my mind. He actually played bishop d2, which I give full props to, because the idea is to go c3, bishop b2, and if you manage to exchange that bishop off, you're dead winning. Bishop d2, e5. Oh, you're jumping back, but I'm sure this was played. Bishop d2, e5. And props for Caleb. He's fighting like a lion. He's trying to distract Jonathan from achieving that goal. So, how's our chat doing?
Oh, the chat's doing great. Everyone's having a good time. Yao Chow, Chow, yeah. He says, no engine, Jonathan, even if eval is equal psychologically, Caleb may be in trouble. Well, he has a lot of faith in Jonathan.
I'd agree. That's a good observation.
Taco Bell at 6. I would read your message, but I'm not really sure what it means or how to pronounce that name. I'm not a big enough nerd. Apologies. Kyle Neese picks Pat Buchanan.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Kyle.
So, bishop c3 was played, and Caleb is under a minute. I have to tell you, this is going to be a tough match.
Well, is he under a minute or under 2 minutes? Oh,
Under
wow.
a
The
minute.
clock is, okay, the clock just updated. Wow. Yeah, okay. This is gonna. We might. We're gonna have to see Caleb making some quick decisions here. Remember, there's only a 5-second delay at this stage.
So I'm not saying that it's easy to play this with white, but I have that feeling that this should be objectively very nice.
Mm. Okay.
Takes.
Nice shot here. Nice
Takes.
shot. Kudos to the cameraman on this one.
And you can see, just if we look at Caleb, look at those hands buried, just burying his face, hoping for a miracle to happen. I'm not sure it will.
If Caleb loses this, do
I
you think
think-
this is going to hurt him psychologically in
No,
the
this
match?
would be demoralizing.
Yeah.
But so far, Jonathan been doing great. He's been the king of the hill.
Man, calling someone a king in chess, that's a new one.
I know. Nobody does that. And I see some nerves. Oh, and see, just look how that rook was posted on g5. A confident person wouldn't post a rook on g5, which is on f5, g5, and on a little bit on h5 as well. Oh, and he's going back. Great defense by Jonathan. I have to give it to Jonathan. He's been killing this game.
I mean, does Black have an idea of maybe pushing the e-pawn?
He's only trying for a trick of bishop c3 right now.
Okay.
But that's like it's like a non-threat. And look at look at Jonathan. He's not afraid of ghosts. He's like a ghostbuster.
Mm-hmm.
And if he somehow extricates his king from that corner, he'll be winning easy. But he needs to do that. I don't like that move that much. But if it's with the idea of walking the king to the center with king b1, king c2, look, and he's making space for his king moves. So that's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, oh my God.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Caleb is almost under 20 seconds. Yes.
Oh, man.
E3, and he's doing it. Now, I'm not sure that he's going to win this game, but it's Jonathan for the win. And he feels it. You can feel the tension in the air.
Mm-hmm. And that room is dead silent right now besides that clock.
Yeah.
The players hitting that clock. You got Sam and you've got the players in there.
And he's got
that's
3
it.
minutes against 18 seconds.
Oh, my goodness.
What would be your odds here if you would have a bet?
I don't even know. Someone call Mike Cummer.
All right. Someone call Mike.
Cummer will make a call to Vegas and see what their odds are.
King c2, that's a bit too slow. But he's still winning. This is Jonathan for the win. Jonathan for the win. What are engine people saying?
Well, the engine itself says plus 1.2 right
Yeah,
now.
so this is totally winning.
Yeah.
But to be honest, Caleb will have play on the king side with those connected 3 pawns. But if Jonathan realizes that he should win the a7 pawn, he'll be crushing this game. Just crushing it. Yes, and he feels it. Oh, yeah, rook e7 was a little bit off, but it's okay. Just go after that pawn. Play a4. Oh, and he missed, and he hung his knight. And he didn't take his knight. Wow. Oh my God, the nerves. Rook c4 was on.
What?
It was a gift. It was a gift. Refused. Where is that rook headed? Oh my God, it's rook c5. Just defend the knight. Defend the knight. Defend the knight.
What does he have to do? Oh, there we go.
d4.
Defend the knight. Okay.
Come on. Come closer to that a5 pawn. Just push it. Push that a pawn. Come on, you can do it. Don't think. Chess is not about thinking, it's about winning. a4. a4. It must be the winning move.
You're saying a4 for white.
For white, yes.
Okay.
So, Okay, king h7 will be played, but king f8, that was a big mistake. Take the pawn. Just take the pawn with the knight. Don't exchange the rooks. Good. Man, Jonathan is a god. He's a god of chess.
Don't say that in front of him. We'll never hear the end of it.
Nah, I'm not. It's just, don't ever tell him I said that. I mean, I'll deny it. I mean, just check and go behind the pawn. This is the end of it. Caleb is going down. Caleb is going down.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it's history in the making. Ben.
Who could have thought that this would happen?
A4, I'm not sure about that one. Rook h5. Rook h5. The rook belongs behind that pawn. At least that pawn. h3. He has... Is that 5 seconds? No, 9 seconds. Against a whole 2 minutes. And Jonathan, the hands of God, reaching. And there's nothing that Caleb could do here. It's over. He's on the floor. He's rolling. What will happen next, man? What will happen?
Could be lights out here for Caleb.
King c5, very position.
How many blunders this is going to take for though to reverse? I mean, we've seen this back and forth in this game
7
before.
seconds, 6, 5, 4, and he played g5 like he's not losing. Wow. How is he doing that? Can the Chet hold his breath? How can they do that? a5, that pawn is marching. And notice that the a3 square is blocked. The knight. And he flagged, and he casually points that out. And Jonathan for the win. Wow, Jonathan.
Jonathan Schrantz draws first blood in, all in. He is leading the match 2 points to nothing. And this is big. A win in the rapid stage is a big deal.
And Caleb can't believe it. Can't believe it.
No, I mean, Caleb.
Jonathan, the hands of God. Hands of chess God.
Now,
what can you do? If Jonathan plays like that, we have no hope. Caleb is done for.
This is a big deal. Jonathan is leading the match 2-0. Remember, 4.5 is the magic number to clinch the match. We have one more rapid game to go, and then we'll have 4 blitz games if necessary. The rapid are double weighted.
I can't believe this.
No, and a lot of people are going to have so much to say with this game, including our correspondent, Dennis LaRue. And I was talking with Dennis earlier today, and he was very excited about this match. And I understand that we have Dennis ready to go. He's going to be giving his insights. Dennis, if you're ready, take it away.
Okay, thanks, guys. What an exciting day of chess. Now take a look. I have something really interesting I want to show you. Seems pretty innocuous, right? But actually, White's threatening to play e5. It's okay, Black's no slouch. He sees the threat and counters it by playing e5 himself. Yet White is relentless, attacking e5 with the knight. Black defends with his knight in stronger games. But in this game, d6 was played, to which the amazing response d4 was played. How can Black even want to continue here? Maybe bishop g4. But Black says no, no. Or White says no, no. White says that's a dumb idea. Bishop g4 is so stupid. And I would show you the line, but I know all our viewers at home can see it, calculate it easily without me having to move the pieces. That after de, queen d8, king d8, knight e5 wins the pawn. Black sees this, refuses to fall for White's tricks. And White says, I'm going to checkmate you, buddy. Black says, no, I like to develop and stop checkmates. White says, I'm going to redouble the attack on f7 with queen b3. Looks like Black's in quite a pickle here, wouldn't you say? Queen d7 won't do it, so he plays Queen e7, threatening to play Queen b4 check if Queen b7 comes on the board, trading off the queens and taking the steam out of White's attack. White, of course, just plays normal chess, starts developing. Black plays c6 to keep that knight off of d5 and b5. The golden rules are being followed, folks. This is exciting stuff. This is exciting stuff. Which side will White castle on? Nobody knows. Black thinks that bishop is really annoying, so he tries to get rid of it. But does White have a surprise for him? As Jonathan Schrantz likes to say, "Wow-pow!" I'll take those pawns and get a winning, unstoppable attack. What do you have to say about that, black pieces? Not king d8 because castle's long leads into a quick forced win for White. And the rest just explains itself, doesn't it, folks? I'm attacking your pinned piece. You have to defend it. And my position's so strong and so few of your pieces are in play that I can just sacrifice all my stuff, just throw it away and checkmate you. But what if you try and trade off my strongest attacking piece? Will I fall for it and take here? No, sir. No, I will not. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Dennis. Nice insight from the former corner man of one of our competitors, Caleb Denby, who is now down 0-2 against Jonathan Schrantz after game number 1. My name is Ben Simon. He's Grandmaster Denes Boros, and we are here for the most anticipated expert-level chess match in history, Jonathan Schrantz versus Caleb Denby, where Jonathan leads 2-0. Now, we still have one more rapid game, and then we'll have 4 blitz games. The rapid game is 25 minutes with a 5-second delay. It's worth 2 points. And Caleb is going to want to come back and win this one so he can start fresh in the blitz.
Yeah. We had a dramatic first game. And I have to give it to Jonathan. It all started thinking that F3 will be the meme of the day. But it turns out Jonathan knew what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. He knew it all. And it seems that it's on Caleb. It's Caleb to wash that meme away. Because this was just an amazing performance. Like a really, really top-notch performance by Jonathan.
Right.
Do you think Caleb can make a comeback?
I think he can. Remember, he was a 3-1 favorite in this match. Yeah. So he's got to remember that. He knows he can tie this up. And I think that this is still going to be a close match. I'm not surprised that a player won the first round. And look, you win, you're going to be 2-0. You know, so it looks like a big factor, but I don't think it is yet. Mm-hmm. Now, if Schrantz wins again, I mean, the match is basically over. All he has to do is get a draw in the blitz stage. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Caleb definitely does not. He cannot let Schrantz win this game 2. Cannot. And look at this. Denby has played c4 to start the round.
So it's the English.
And we might just look at the board here to start while I get the digital board going. So c4, knight f6 has been played. There we go. Okay. Peachy.
So it's the classical English variation with this g3 move. Now this was known to be dumb because of c6. Bishop g2 d5 played by Fischer against Petrosian. But since then, people realized that, nah, not a problem. So Jonathan doesn't even bother with that. He's going the Nimzo Indian way and goes e6 d5. And now in Catalan waters already. And it seems like a heavy theoretical struggle again, just like in the first game. Our players are super, super prepared, as we can see. Now, Caleb could have chosen to transpose into the main lines of the Catalan with d4 and just get into the openings that is heavily played by Carlsen and Wesley, but instead chooses b3. And this b3 move is actually amazing. This was played by Kasparov against Karpov when he had to win the game. So Caleb knows his history. I'm sure he knows that if Kasparov can pull out a win from this line, so can I.
Which match was that? I know they played 5 of them.
So it was the return match where Kasparov needed to score a win with white.
85?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was a very close encounter, which ended up with Kasparov winning it. And the rest is in history books. And also in the history books is this match. So far, Jonathan showed amazing skills. Refused the draw, just flat out refused the draw and went for the full point. And in fact, Caleb was trying too hard to beat Jonathan. And instead of trying to have full compensation, missed a move and was totally outplayed by Jonathan. So far, they're following theory. They're in mainline theory, and I see that both players are on autopilot. They're kind of rushing through their moves.
And as we encourage you all to join us in our YouTube chat, exclusively on YouTube this afternoon, Taco Bell at 6 says, no one is acknowledging Caleb's strength yet, but Caleb has just spent the last 3 years training under the basement hermit Dennis LaRue, one of the 3 legendary chess players of St. Louis. As far as our videos go, yes. Caleb will show us all his growth this game. So Taco Bell has a lot of confidence in Caleb.
So there is confidence in Caleb. I can see it in the chat.
Yeah. And the good thing about this, you notice the players, the colors are on the same side. We're seeing this from White's perspective here.
Yeah.
And the players get up and they switch sides, which means that for our camera angles, we're going to get a good mix of seeing the players' faces. So that's a good thing.
So we're still in theory. D4 is the classical way of playing. Takes, D3. And actually, that's the line that was played. The other line is B6. And often, black goes bishop b7, and it's a long, long theoretical struggle. Now instead, Jonathan goes for the main line. D4, takes, rook e1. And we're going to see a reversed Benoni, where Jonathan is actually playing white with a tempo down. Have you ever played openings a tempo down?
Yeah, like every single game.
Every single game.
I'm 1500, Boros.
Okay, but sometimes I also play a tempo down, but it's fun. And Denby actually has a good point here. Even though he's playing the Benoni with white, the fact that Jonathan is a tempo down makes this whole line interesting. And Caleb might get an advantage here. Also, look at the times. Caleb has a 3-minute advantage, which might actually be a problem for him later on, because as we noticed, Jonathan is a Blitz expert. He's way better than Caleb in Blitz. If you remember, he's 100 points higher in Blitz ratings.
Well, maybe he should just let all of the time just drip off the clock. Yeah, and just be like, oh, now I'm like superhuman.
Now I'm
right?
here, yes.
Is that how that works?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's like the Incredible Hulk in chess version. So who says in chat that Jonathan has this game in the pocket? Who dares call it already a game for Jonathan?
Well, I don't know that anyone's doing that, but Lawrence Who says that Jonathan is flexing at the board, which is something that he does. It's very intimidating, you know?
Have Lawrence played him?
I don't know if well, Lawrence is here, I think, at the club right now. At
Right
least,
now.
if not, he's in St. Louis. But I don't know if they've played. I played a beautiful game with Jonathan. It was a loss during the staff tournament that Caleb won, actually, back in January. Jonathan and I played in the third round, and I lost. But it was a beautiful game, and it's one that I was telling people, I gotta show you this game, because if I was teaching my greatest losses on YouTube, I would show that one. Because although the eval later said that I was never winning, it was just pretty combinations that Jonathan used in that game. It was a nice little game.
Jonathan is using high-class theory here. Bishop f8, and as we've seen, and maybe Lawrence was kind of claiming that.
Undeveloping the piece here, Boros?
Yeah, undeveloping, but preparing the idea of, let's say, if White just plays something random, he can gain space with e5. And now Black would be just better.
Okay.
So he's undeveloping to later on gain some space. So for a good reason now, then Caleb plays knight e5 to stop Jonathan from untangling himself. Knight takes c5, rook takes e5, and you believe it or not, I actually played this with Black. He's following my theory. He's a good person. He must be a good person if he's following my theory. I actually played bishop d6 against Gavain Jones with Black, and then happened, boom, bishop takes d4, takes, and actually it was like a long fight between me and Gavain, and sadly I didn't draw the game at the last moment, even though I had some drawing chances and a drawing move, but in the end Jones prevailed. So, and he actually played bishop d6. Will we see them following the expert in this opening? We see that Jonathan is following the expert, but did Caleb study this enough to know that Jones played bishop takes d4 here? What do you think, Ben?
Honestly, I don't know how much Caleb actually prepped for this match. You would think that he sat down at a computer and looked at some of the games that he's played with Jonathan. I actually don't know that head-to-head history.
And he didn't play it. A shame. That's why you study my games and at least Gavain Jones's games. So he played rook e1, not knowing that bishop takes d4 is an interesting idea here. Rook e1, but look at Caleb, like he's all in killer mode. He's out there. He's trying to win at all costs.
Right.
Have you seen him pissed at all? Because I think he is. I think
he's on the comeback,
yes,
for sure.
I think he looks as pissed as he can be.
Right. Well, he just did a hair flip. I don't know if you saw that about a minute ago.
Oh my,
I think that means
that's
war.
the most passive-aggressive thing I could ever see.
Passive? No. That's just flat aggression.
Aggression?
Right there. Yeah. I think Caleb means business in this one. No, I mean, he doesn't want to come in and lose to Jonathan. I mean, it really is for both players. I mean, so much on the line in terms of just pride and glory.
Sorry to interject, but if you've seen, I think Jonathan just saw that hair flip, and now he's like anxious. Look at those
sinking down, yeah.
Those sinking down moments. He's like scared now. What is Caleb up to? What does he want to do? Why is he bringing all his pieces back to the second rank?
Are we still in theory here?
Probably rook e1 is not theory anymore. Knight a3. He's trying to reroute his knight to c2. Still, I consider a5 and knight c2 in, let's say, like queen c7, h3, bishop f5. This is a very comfortable position, as Jonathan will prepare e4 ideas later on. First off, obviously, he will go rook d8, d1, bishop c5, and at an opportune moment play e4. And this looks very nice for black. Obviously, I played it the ideal way for black, but if he manages to break through in the center, this should be really pleasant for Jonathan. So knight a3 played rook b8. That's the other way to play this. Now, knight b5 might seem interesting, but in fact there's bishop c5, and I'll just chase you with a6. Oh, let me put that pawn back. And to be honest with you, this looks fairly comfortable with Jonathan. And you can see those hard-earned hours paying off for Jonathan.
Why did you hesitate there on the a6?
Well, I didn't hesitate too much. The fact is it's white to move. So queen takes d2 and a6. So I'd be hesitant to move if it's white's turn.
Right.
That's all.
Hesitate.
Yes.
You might get penalized for that.
I might even get penalized.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
You know Sam Schweikert up there.
Sam would find us in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. He'll throw the book at you.
And those FIDE rule books, if you've seen them, they're really heavy.
Well, the USCF, which is what we're going by today, is not too is heavy as well. You know, the first, it's this I think.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I met Sam, I think he was 16 years old. He had just become an arbiter, and he was running a tournament upstairs. And it was like a Saturday or something. I came into the club, and I forgot there was a tournament upstairs. And it wasn't one where you had to turn in your cell phone. There wasn't like a security guard or anything. So I just opened the door and went on upstairs. And I was like, going, like I don't know. I was like talking to myself or something.
You didn't expect Sam.
No. And Sam greeted me right at the top of those stairs, and he said, "You need to leave." And I was like, man, I've been working here for years. I don't even know this guy. He's being arbiter. I was like, all right. I went quietly.
Rules are the rules.
He is a rules-based person. He doesn't care who you are. He would throw Gary Kasparov out of the tournament hall if he was making a noise. Gary may not leave, but he would try.
But he would try.
He would try.
So we have a move. Actually, knight c2 was played. And b5. And that's a bit... That's on the brave side. Because that's basically sacrificing an exchange. With bishop c6, because I double attacked both of those rooks. You have bishop d7, takes. Now, I've said this before, rooks are overrated.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, tell me.
Because they don't do nothing. They're just chilling until they get an open file. So here, with these two rooks being just lame ducks, you'd see that this bishop will either hit on this d3 pawn, or just go, let's say, queen d2, queen a8. We can get ready for this bishop c6, and these bishops would be just killing white. And maybe black is not better, but he has full compensation as these bishops are working full time. In this position. While these rooks are, well, they show up to work, but they're like willy-nilly doing nothing, really.
Okay, so that's not the live position, is it?
That's not the live position, but it'd be cool if they get this one. In fact, we can get here because Jonathan, the Hulk, played b5, and there's a good chance that we'll get there. Actually, he played bishop d7. I actually disapprove of this. I would have liked to see rook b5 played, bishop d7, because this is way more entertaining than the move played. This might actually be quite bad, because if Caleb is on the stingy side, and I don't know, is he a stingy person?
Chess-wise?
Chess-wise, yes.
I don't know. I don't
well,
think
it turns out he is.
You think he is?
He collected the pawn and he sticks to it. He played a4. So the Caleb truck is on the roll.
Yeah. Or
Let's see if that a4 actually happens.
So
And
if you're just joining us, by the way, I have a lot of people in the chat saying, "What is this?" This is the most anticipated, strongest expert level chess match of all time. This is All In, Jonathan versus Caleb. And yes, Jonathan wants you to remember there's a reason he gets top billing, even though he's not the highest rated. He told us he wanted top billing, so that's what happened. We got 2 rapid games. We're on game number 2 of 2 rapid games, and then we have 4 blitz games coming your way after this, following a short break. Each game in the rapid part is worth 2 points. Each game in the blitz is worth 1 point, and the first to 4.5 clinches the match. And we have Caleb and Jonathan, 2 YouTube chess celebrities here at the St. Louis Chess Club on the YouTube channel. Both have taught lots of classes. Jonathan had a very successful franchise called Chess Openings Explained, which still exists, but he doesn't teach it any longer. And Caleb Denby teaches a class every Wednesday night. You can see now, currently, he's teaching the class. It's called Road to 2000. He's over 2,000. He wants to get you on the road to 2,000. Yeah. So there you go.
Fair enough.
Welcome.
Fair enough. And let's be fair with Jonathan. He won the first game like the god of chess, and he mimified his opponent totally. It seemed that...
Did you say memified?
Yes, I said he mimified. Like, it seemed that...
Did you invent that?
I certainly did.
Okay.
It's my invention. Don't take it. Mimified is mine. I have copyrights. Or whatever. So anyways, Caleb seemed to be attacking, trying to beat Jonathan, but Jonathan struck back.
Okay.
And he just destroyed Caleb.
Yeah. No, it was a crazy game.
It was
I
a
mean,
crazy game,
we thought White was going to win, Black was going to win, White was going to win. Hey, Jonathan gets the 2 points. Big news. Caleb is really far down on time, even with the 5-second delay. He lets his flag fall, and the game was Jonathan's.
Yeah. And I'm hoping we're going to see a replay soon enough, because that was a beautiful moment. Anyways, coming back to the game, now Caleb is in fight mode, and he's going in for this game for the win. Now, Schrantz is a pawn down, and he played a6, trying to gain that pawn back. And Caleb did something I don't understand. If you're up a pawn, you should keep being up a pawn and just take the pawn. Okay, he would take on b3, but bishop a3, and that a pawn is heading towards queening.
And nice support there, the bishop on g2.
And that bishop is just a great help there. And even if things go bad to worse, you can play bishop b7 and laugh at your opponent. Mm-hmm. Now, instead of laughing at his opponent, he played knight a3, and that just loses the pawn back, which I'm not sure is a great idea. Actually, a takes b5 would have been really good here. But instead, Jonathan fell for the dirty trick set by Caleb. Mm-hmm. He took on a3, a takes b5, bishop d6. And have you heard this thing that is kind of the big news in chess? That bishop pair is worth a pawn.
No. I mean, come on, look, you gotta put some qualifiers on that one. You can't just say a bishop pair is worth a pawn. I mean, maybe a bishop pair is worth a pawn that has the potential of queening right away. I mean, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about
starting rank.
I'm talking about maybe Caleb thought that, if I could get the bishop pair, I'm willing to give my pawn back. You think that was his way of thinking? Or this is just another call for a meme?
Yeah, maybe that latter.
The latter. Actually, takes, a takes b5, bishop d6. And I thought that this is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful for Caleb. But Caleb, I think, just missed this hammer shot. Hammer shot? That's not a thing. So he missed this hammer blow. Bishop g4. double attacking the bishop and the queen. And I think, slowly but surely, Caleb will be under pressure in this match. Ben, what do you think?
Well, I mean, if Caleb's on the defense as white,
Yeah.
we might be seeing the practical end of this match
Yes.
faster than we thought.
So, how's the chat handling this huge, huge turn of events?
SNP Murray says, I'm still digesting rooks are overrated. I know what you mean there, but you might go,
the truth.
you know, one man's opinion, it might be fact. Synchronium24 asks, is Llama Caleb or Jonathan? The Llama Lord is Caleb.
Yes, Caleb, yes.
Yeah, Jonathan is Vampire Chicken online. And SNP Murray also is puzzled. He says, the bishop pair equals a pawn equals an overrated rook. Am I in the twilight zone? You might be.
You might be.
Yeah, welcome. We never thought we would make it. Downs Buggy, who is the fellow on the right? Well, that is Grandmaster Denes Boros, and I don't blame you for not knowing if you just joined us because our chat had an old description. I have since updated that. Reload the page, and his name is there. Thank you for joining us.
So far, so good. F3. And even though we love bishops, bishops are love. Fisher loved it, so we must love it as well.
It's like the law.
It's like the law of chess. But if for a pawn, he gives it away. So bishop takes F3. Queen takes D6. And let's do our tradition of counting pawns. A 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5. A 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, 6.
Black is up a pawn, but it looks like white is making a run for it on the A file.
Yep. That's his only hope, is to bank on that A5 pawn. If you haven't noticed, this pawn is trying to reach queen land, but it'll be a long journey. In fact, Jonathan is down on time, but he's a pawn up. This could be game, set, and match.
Practically, not officially.
Not
They're going to play at
officially.
least one blitz game, even if this is a sweep.
Not officially, but Jonathan, the chess god, could pull it off.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's going to make it to Queenland?
Well, I don't think that pawn will reach
No.
Queenland.
The shores are too distant.
Yes. Queenland is a beautiful place,
Mm.
but it'll never happen. In fact, if you're familiar with Benoni ideas, you might notice this pawn sacrifice, e4. D takes e4. And before e4, this bishop was a monster. And it might even help this pawn to Queenland. But after e4, D takes e4, we can safely call this bishop a pawn. Because it does nothing, it only protects this e4 pawn, which is not a useful thing for a bishop. Now, I know everyone's playing tactics time, as we know LaRue teaches us that. But if we learn positional chess, where would we like to have this knight posted on? That's at the moment on f6.
Where would we like to have it posted?
Yes. We just created that square for our little pony.
C3 or E3?
C3 or E3? Or we have an even closer outpost. What does the chat think? Where could we post that little bit of pony?
Might have to wait a few moments to
Yep.
find out, because I think that we are on about a 25-second
Yep.
delay.
So in each case, I feel that Jonathan has the advantage.
Okay.
Definitely he is in for the run, for the full point. And if he will find this e4 idea later on, or at all, he might just cash in. Any ideas where this pony is headed? Could be c3. Could be c3. It'll take a journey. But where else could we pose that knight?
Jacob Plays and Marius Funk say E5.
Yes, E5. And if you put that knight on E5, it'll do a great job there. For one, white will have to watch out and play some bad queen move. But if they're not careful, hello, forkland.
That's not a pleasant place to be.
That's not a pleasant place to be.
I don't even
that
fly there
would
anymore.
be the end of it.
Yeah.
And even if white would find this, then D3 comes, and it's all black's game. And that A pawn, you can notice, is not supported anymore with the bishop, and it's going to be Jonathan all the way if he gets this E4 idea. Well, let's see what he played. Turns out he played rook E7, which is fine. The idea is, if A6 is played, he will block it. Now, if you're white here, you might want to push that pawn just to divert the attention of that rook and attack this E5 pawn. If we can see Caleb, you can see that he's in some sort of pain, because he's down a pawn, and this might be the crucial game. Right, Ben?
It's extremely crucial. I mean, this is not a 12-game classical match. I mean, this is going to determine essentially a big handicap potentially going into the Blitz round.
So if he would, let's say he would lose this game, how much he has to score to even up?
If Caleb loses this game, Jonathan will be up 4 match points because each of the rapid games are double weighted, 2 points. So that means to win the match, Caleb would first have to force a playoff. He'd have to win 4 Blitz games in a row. And then, by the luck of the draw, he either has white or black in the Armageddon playoff, and then he'd have to win that. It's so uphill. Minuscule chances if Caleb loses this rapid game.
You don't believe. And actually, you have a point there. Because as we said before, like 3-4 times already, Caleb is 100 points below Jonathan in Blitz rating.
In U.S. chess rating,
In U.S. chess rating. And I'm not saying it would be a done deal, but that would heavily favor Jonathan. Because as we know, he's the Blitz god, the god of chess, the meme king. Probably it'll take some time for him to win this, and it's not over yet. Let's not kid ourselves. This is not over. Caleb is still in this game. It's not impossible to find counterplay and even win this. The question is if Jonathan will find the right path in this position. What do you think, Ben? Will we see 2-0 here?
For the sake of the match, I hope not, honestly. But it's, yeah, I agree with you. Over in our chat, we have some fans. Ajan Anthony loves us so much, he wants to know who made us the announcers. Probably so he can send a thank you letter. That is awesome. Synchronium24, the meme king, LOL. You have a fan, Danish. And also JoeCal17, Danish is the man. Ben is amazing as well. Man, I mean, I may paraphrase some of that, but thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Later on, we will have another Dennis LaRue corner segment for you. He's working hard out there, looking at these games very closely so he can bring you his insights later on.
And he might be out for revenge because he was kicked out by Caleb, right?
Well, he says he's not, and you know,
don't believe these people.
His job here is quite secure as a part of our team. He is a correspondent. Who wouldn't want to be a correspondent for the St. Louis Chess Club YouTube channel? It's a lot of fun. So, any other moves played since we went on that tangent?
Yes. Let us see. I'm waiting for this machine to load up. But I'll have to give it to Caleb. He found one of the best chances in the position. And he's trying to paralyze Jonathan's pieces. As I told you before, E4 would have been a strong idea. And Caleb took little time to figure out that, no, I'm gonna play queen c6 here, and no more e4s for you, my friend. And just to preface what's the idea, now he's planning to go a6, a7, which is way stronger now without the queens, as there are less blockaders. Also, e4 is not as strong as before, because it does absolutely nothing. Because d takes e4, and the bishop is not caged in on g2, but on c6, helping his brother to queen. Brother a pawn. Now, so e4 is pretty bad here. In fact, here, I think Caleb is fighting back. He's getting good fighting chances here. Because this exchange, well, he can go queen b4, but that can be really dangerous with a6 and a7 coming. Right. Also, notice you can't move your rook, because I take on e5. And now it's already completely winning for white. So, from a much, much better position for Jonathan turned into a slugfest, with Caleb having really good counter chances.
So you're pretty certain at this point that the queens are coming off the board?
It's very likely it's going to come down to a queenless middle game. And as I said before, that rooks are overrated. Let's say knight g4, if he would be planning to go to e3, a6, rook a7. Would you truly say that rook on a7 is worth more than a piece?
In this case, no.
No. That rook is a piece of on a7. That rook should never be on a7. That's just terrible. And if we want to create a prisoner on a7, we can just go bishop b7 and laugh at our opponents. Not when Sam is watching you, but laugh when he's not looking.
I think he's always looking.
He's always looking?
Yeah.
Dang it. So don't laugh if Sam is around, because he's a pretty harsh arbiter. I would know.
Sam Choiquette, chief and sole arbiter for this event. We have yet to see him on camera, but he is up there in the world-famous boardroom at the tournament hall at the St. Louis Chess Club. Just 2 floors above us is where these two are playing in isolation.
And he played queen d8. He's not following my advice, but maybe he's right. Although I'd be concerned. And if we would have a close-up on Jonathan, I think he's concerned as well. Because Queenland is about to...
Hey, there he is. There's Sam Choiquette.
And he doesn't even realize he's being watched.
Well, you know what he's doing? He's making sure that the DGT relay is running smoothly. We got to thank him a lot, because without him, we would not have this digital board to put on the screen for you. So thank you very much. Anyway, back to the game.
Yep. So queen d8 was played. And let's be honest, I'm always here for the meme moments.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell, right?
Oh.
So a6, heading towards Queenland. That's where we're heading to, rook e6. And if we're acting very pedestrian-wise in chess, you'd say, can I take on e6, takes, a7, rook a8, takes, rook c1, and I play rook c8, and you resign.
Sacking the rook for the pawn promotion. Very nice.
And I do this if I'd like, you know, basic tactics. But we're here for fun meme moments, and that would be queen b7. Now...
Oh, is the pawn unstoppable?
Yeah.
That takes,
So queen b7 is, take me. I'm gonna queen anyways. So this is the perfect meme moment. You take, because you have to try it. A takes b7. Now, if you would try the good old, I'm going to go behind the pawn and stop you, then haha, rook a8. And then there's no way you can stop me, and I'm also pinning your queen.
Right.
And it's over. So, you have to go back, rook a8, same thing, queen e7, takes, you have to take with the queen, and now, which line do you prefer? Do you prefer the A line or the C line, Ben?
I like A.
You like A.
I like A.
Well, that doesn't work.
That was the wrong
sadly.
answer. I tend to do that. I tend to give the wrong answer.
But actually, it's not that bad. Actually, rook A1 is fine, but rook C1 is more sadistic.
Oh.
So just because knight D7, you can go rook C8, and not just that you're going to queen, you're going to also take the queen on E8. Now, if you're watching this and asking the question, but what if king F8? Well, you can move bishop C6, and you just win. Because, as Ben would say, he's in full Nelson. You wouldn't say full Nelson ever? Don't you ever say full Nelson?
I mean, I could.
You could?
It's in a full Nelson.
Yeah, he just did that.
I said it.
He is in full Nelson. Because the knight can't move, because we'll kiss goodbye to that queen. And if the queen takes the rook, well, I'm a conservative person. And if we're heading towards queenland, let's queen. And then it's over. Because takes, and we take everything. And actually, we're kind of looking for this me moment to happen. But for that, Caleb will have to play A6. And also notice the time. Both are head-to-head. Both of them have 8 minutes each. I wonder who does that favor.
Well, I mean, we were talking about the different strengths and different time controls. And you'd think that it would have to benefit Jonathan the more we tick down.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, once again, if you want to follow these games on a digital board online, we have put them on leadchess.org, and the link to the study with these games is now posted in our description for this event. So just reload the page and click on that. You can go to Lead Chess.
And actually, Caleb is going for it, but I dislike the move he played. Because if you have a bunny, make the bunny run.
What? What do you see Caleb just like put his head down?
Yeah. I don't know why he didn't let that a-pawn run. If you have a bunny, make it run.
Yeah.
So probably Caleb doesn't own a bunny, right?
I would imagine he doesn't.
I'm not even sure he's seen a live bunny in his life.
He probably has.
Even though it's Easter. Somebody show him a bunny. He would know what to do then. So anyways, he played queen c5, which is a bit too materialistic. And I asked this before. I asked you, Ben, if Caleb is materialistic. And it turns out he is, because he wants to munch on that e5 pawn.
As all good chess players are.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, less munching and more queening would have happened after a6, a7. Queen c5. Now, I would poll the live audience. What percentages would you give for a Jonathan win here or a Caleb win here? To be honest, I think it's 50-50 at the moment.
Well, about their composures, Jawida Dur says Caleb is playing raw and Jonathan is calm.
Yeah, Jonathan plays calm chess. Just look at him. He's all calmed out, just saying, I'm a pawn up. I should be better. No risks. I'm going to pull it off.
Our friend Jacob Wilkins, the computer chess expert who we know quite well, actually, we did the Alpha Zero show together. Jacob Wilkins had a very interesting point. He was on the U.S. chess website looking at the histories for these players, and he said both players have played relatively little rated Blitz. So those ratings are pretty useless for comparison. It's a good point to make. And I kind of struggled to find a good comparison between these players. I suppose the best is the U.S. Chess Classical between these players. Even though we're not playing like long Classical in this match, maybe that's the best to go by. Only Caleb has a universal rating, and then as far as FIDE, I think Jonathan does not have a FIDE Classical. So it's tough to compare these players by the numbers. They don't have all of the same factors, basically.
Well, you really don't have to be a chess weeb to compare this to the boxing matches, the legendary Jungle War. Was it Jungle War? Or?
The Rumble.
Rumble in the Jungle.
The Jungle
sorry.
War is like the off-brand
The
ripoff
off-brand
of
one.
Rumble in the Jungle.
Rumble in the Jungle.
Don
yes.
King was there. He said, "It's
Yes.
the Jungle War."
The Jungle.
Yes.
War. Yes.
All right.
So, Ben,
Yes.
how could we compare this to that specific boxing match
Well,
for the title? As we all know, this is also for the title.
Yes, it was George Foreman, the heavyweight world champion, coming in. Ali trying to regain the title he never lost in the ring. And Foreman had amazing power, but he punched himself out.
Yeah.
And late in the match, just really, it was quite sudden. With Foreman completely gassed out, Ali caught him with a few good punches, and Foreman went down and he couldn't get up. So, are you suggesting that one of these players is in a firm control, but maybe they're going to gas out, so to speak, on the board?
That's not impossible, yes. In fact, well, full-on fight mode just happened. And Jonathan did go e4.
Okay.
So he's backing the punches.
There he goes.
But I'm not sure who's going to go down. Do you think someone's going to go down in this game?
I have a feeling someone is. You know what? I'm going to make a call right now.
Okay.
There's not going to be any draws in this
Okay.
match. No draws.
No
Not
draws.
One, not one
No,
draw.
not a single draw.
Nope. Absolutely not. Aditya Chandra says 100% Caleb will win. Wow, he's very confident in Caleb. And the Jacob Wilkins, also a big boxing fan apparently, he remembers Ali and Frazier, the excitement in the Philippines. It's a real
yes.
classic, Jacob.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
So, actually, it does feel that Jonathan is backing the punches as he's chasing this queen away, which has to move somewhere to b4. And I can read Caleb's mind as he played queen b4. But now Jonathan will start to roll down the Mississippi River with d3, d2. And I don't know. Will he be still rolling with the punches, or will he just go down? Easy.
Those are some big Foreman body blows right there from
Yep.
Jonathan. Look at that thing coming down the board.
So queen b4, knight g4. And Jonathan is no easy chess weeb. He goes and tries to post his knight on e3 or e5. And this knight g4 move is an A+. An A+. I give it an A+. Do chess players ever give an A+?
I think it kind of will depend on the individual player.
Okay.
But that knight, an A+ player for sure.
Yeah, that knight is an A+ player. It's actually a tricky move and might get quite dangerous if that knight actually lands on e3 or e5. Let's see. So queen b4, knight g4 played. And let's look at the times. Actually, Caleb has 5 minutes, while Jonathan has 5 as well.
Pretty even. I mean, and remember,
Even.
both players still have a 5-second delay. When we get to the Blitz stage, which is coming up after this, after a short break, we will have no delay and no increment. So it's going to be wild and crazy.
Let's look at Caleb's expression. He does seem to be stressed out.
No doubt. Yeah,
Look-
he's looked
look
like that
at
for a
that.
while.
That's some man suffering. That's like a sad man's look. Don't you agree? Or
Well, this is going to be a lot of crow to eat. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the interviews at the top of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb, super confident. But for that matter, so was Jonathan. But Caleb had a little more of a cocky strut in the way he talked. And this might be a lesson here for 20-year-old Caleb Denby.
yeah, he might feel the pressure now. I can see it on his face that, oh man, this might get to 0-2.
Which would be 4-0
Which
after
would
we change
even
into
be
the Blitz.
4-0 with this,
Yeah.
with this control and this system. So rook d1 played, d3. This looks like a slugfest. This looks very dangerous for Caleb. And I think Jonathan is also nervous, but he's nervous in a good way. He's like excited. He was like twitching to play this game. And he might actually get a chance to outplay his opponent. Meanwhile, Caleb played this very good move, e5. Opening up the bishop. Opening up this bishop, also preparing this a6, a7 ideas for the future. Now, everything is kind of under control for black at the moment. Oh my God!
What's up? What happened?
Jonathan played a fantastic sacrifice, rook c4. I'm not sure if it's great, but it's a tactic for the ages.
I'm not seeing it.
Rook c4.
Oh, in knight no.
So b takes c4.
Okay.
We have tactics moments coming up, which is a LaRue specialty. And now we can see why Caleb should regret kicking him out of his team, because it's mate. It's going to be mate on the board. So obviously it's queen d4 check. If king f1, knight takes h2 is the more elegant way of ending it. But king h1 runs into our favorite kind of checkmate.
Oh, it's going to be a smothered mate.
Smothered mate,
oh my goodness.
baby. Queen g1.
Oh my goodness.
And thank you for the game.
What an amazing cap on this match. Well, almost. That would be if Jonathan were to pull that off.
Yes.
But that's not what's happening.
That's not what happened, but rook c4 was still a brilliant spark. Queen d6, very good idea. Rook d4. And queen d6 was a good savior. I'm sure that Caleb missed this queen d6 idea, but the question is if that a6 pawn will destroy Jonathan's dreams. Rook d4, queen takes d8, rook d8, a6, and will Caleb come back swinging? What do you think? Because that a6 pawn is quite far away and close to the queen land. Will it queen?
Well, we have a rook now on the 7th rank to head off that pawn on a6.
Yeah, that's true. Probably is going to be played. I would assume rook d7 would be played.
That was what was played, I believe.
Is the move played?
Yeah, I think we're at rook d7.
Rook d7 played.
h3, knight h6.
h3. Rook d7 was played. h3, knight h6. Now, it might be that Caleb is coming back swinging. So maybe our comparison of that Ollie match was spot on.
Could be. That was pretty good.
Bishop c6 played. And Jonathan, to use some boxing lingo, had him on the ropes. I have to tell you, I was nervous for Caleb there for a while, because Jonathan was owning this game, owning this match. And also, if he would have won this game, probably it would have been over. Basically over.
Yeah.
Now, Caleb is capturing another pawn on b5, and virtually, even though Jonathan can still have some fighting chance, he has a d pawn that could become dangerous, it's still a lot of pawns for Caleb. Who would put money on Jonathan at this moment? Live chat, what's your take on this? Raise your hands.
Yes. So far in the chat, Ajan Anthony screams, "Future of a pawn is lost."
Well, I wouldn't agree. That a pawn looks to have a great future.
Okay. And Ajan Anthony screams, "Well, the game is going to endgame."
Well, it's going to be an endgame. It
Thank
is
you.
an endgame.
Yeah. I don't know why he's so irate. Okay. Michael Empena asks, who are Denby and Schrantz? Well, might be a lost cause. Hey, look at these guys are blitzing off moves on the board.
Oh, and Caleb's shaking his head. So D2 was played. Let me back up a bit. D2, so he's banking on the D2 pawn. Rook F1, which is a little passive, but okay. Rook C5, Bishop C4, Rook takes E5. Rook F2, trying to gobble up that pawn, but Rook E1, check. And Rook F1, and he's realizing, Caleb is realizing that he was forced to go back. Now Rooks was exchanged here. King takes F1, and now it's getting tricky, because with that D2 pawn, Jonathan does the reverse ollie.
The reverse alley. Yes, very well known. Can we get a closer look at the board right now? I kind of want to see where we're at.
F5 played. King F2. So it's 2 minutes against 2 minutes. Well, King F8. But this still looks very dangerous for Jonathan.
And I'll answer right now who these players are. These are two very well-known YouTube personalities and also staff members, longtime staff members here at the St. Louis Chess Club. Jonathan gained his fame as the instructor of Chess Openings Explained, ran for a couple of years, and Caleb Denby currently teaches Road to 2000, which you can see every Wednesday evening. Most of the time, it's absolutely live here at the St. Louis Chess Club YouTube channel.
And we can see as Jonathan musters all the tricks he has, but it's not enough against Caleb as he's doing his job, winning this game quite easily. As Caleb won that ever so dangerous pawn on D2, that idea of counterattack comes to a halt, and I think this is the end, my friend. This is the end, as Jim Morrison would say.
You are just a pop culture phenomenon.
Well, everybody has to love some of their Jim Morrison songs. Live coverage. What's your favorite Jim Morrison song that would relate to this game? F6, a big mistake, Rook E2, and that's it. That's it. And Jonathan shows the signs of giving up.
He gave that little shrug there. I thought he was going to stick his hand out and shake hands.
Those nonverbal signs shows you that the player is giving up, and I think you're going to see the hand. Rook D6 played in disgust, and you can see him shaking his head internally, taking the rook, he looks, he takes the bishop, A7, and the pawn reaches Queenland.
There it is.
And Caleb smiles as he deservedly wins this game.
Boros, we have ourselves a match. These players are tied 2-2. Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot of fun.
Was a fun match.
Here's what we have upcoming. We still have 4 Blitz games to play. Each one is worth 1 point. Hey, it's pretty simple to follow from here on out. But right now, I understand that Jonathan is being called to a staff meeting. That could be a big factor when he resumes Blitz because Caleb is going to have time to rest, in theory. And Jonathan has to go to a staff meeting, and it will go until about 2:20, I understand, which is when we'll come back with more games. I think we're going to have Caleb down here for a post-rapid interview in the interim. We can talk about the amazing comeback and his thoughts during the game. But before we do that, our correspondent Dennis LaRue is standing by, and let's take a look at insight from Dennis. Dennis, take it away.
Hey, thanks, guys. This is some exciting chess. Wow, I am just a happy camper. All this chess, I don't know what to do. I am beside myself. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys about a very interesting position. Take a look at this. What a doozy. Oh, my goodness. How does White proceed here? Is he winning? Is he losing? Drawing? Nobody knows. Unless he finds the amazing move, Rook, to whatever square that is. Now, the casual observer may say, didn't you just hang your rook on h6? And I'll tell him, take it. And then I'll say, checkmate! Back to you guys in the studio.
Hello, we're back with a comeback boy.
Yes, it's really something. Not the way I imagined it would go, but
So
interesting.
before we talk about your comeback, we have to talk about the painful part of this.
Fair enough. I'm ready to go through
yeah.
it. So F3.
Yes. So the thing is, at this moment, when he played F3,
Yeah.
did you feel that this game will turn into a meme?
Into what?
Into a meme.
I didn't. I thought maybe.
I
thought
mean-
maybe I would have you know, I would be reliving this one for quite a while after knight c3.
So-
I don't know why I didn't just play something simple. I don't know why not just knight d6 and then I can play chess better than
So knight
Jonathan and
d6,
I should win the game.
Okay.
I guess there's a knight d7 or something, right?
On knight d7. Yeah, that's kind of painful.
So yeah, not knight d6, not knight d6.
Yeah, not knight
but-
d6, but knight f6 or something.
Yeah,
But,
but
so
I mean, then
yeah.
g5 is coming, and I was quite nervous.
Yeah. Yeah, you seemed a little nervous while having this position.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I've been checkmated before in the Caro, so I kind of
see.
recognize the warning signs.
I
but
see. What was the warning sign?
you know, his pawn appeared on g4 as it usually does, and then I didn't see anything stopping him from going further with just f4 and g5, and I was like, oh, I'm probably worse here.
Yeah.
So I went for this knight c3 sacrifice, and I thought it looked very interesting. I wasn't sure exactly how Jonathan would defend. He played one of the lines I had calculated, but I obviously missed some things later on down the road.
So kind of, I wanted to ask you, did you feel that after rook b8, you looked at Jonathan?
Yeah,
and
no, I
he-
looked this guy in the face and I said, he's too scared. He's not gonna just play f3. And then he did. It wasn't a
he
full
did.
bluff though, because I did calculate a lot of the lines before I played rook b8. But you know, I knew I could play something like knight f6 if I had to, and then I thought it actually looked quite decent. I wasn't sure how he would stop just a bishop b2 eventually.
So after he played f3, were you thinking, oh my god, I'm going to be turned into a meme, or oh my god, I'm going to turn Jonathan into a meme?
No, I wasn't actually thinking either of those things. I was just thinking, oh, you know, it's gonna be an interesting game, Dennis.
Okay.
No,
So you
I don't
played-
think much of memes during
You don't think
my chess
about
matches.
memes?
No, that's for the preview videos and the Dennis interviews,
Okay.
the Dennis LaRue.
So actually, talking about Dennis, you kicked him out of your team, as I heard.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately, some creative differences, I think.
So I mean, maybe is that the reason why you didn't play knight c3 immediately?
Knight c3 immediately, interesting. I was too afraid.
Too afraid. Okay.
Yeah, I thought he just takes it.
So maybe you need LaRue back as encouragement, because I'm sure he would want knight c3 to be played.
But what if white just takes it?
That could be a problem.
Then I'm down a piece.
That is true. But you take back, and then you go rook b8.
I thought a queen c4 here.
Oh, queen c4. Oh, okay. Queen a5, I guess.
Yeah, just king a1.
King a1. Okay. And probably the attack will peter out. Okay, I can see that.
And no, I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean-
not even king a1. There's just a knight c6 or something, maybe.
Just knight c6. And I'm not convinced though.
I was in the game. Yeah, so
'cause,
rook,
like,
rook
rook
b8, king
b8
a1.
takes-
No,
Oh,
king
you
a1.
don't?
King
Oh.
a1.
You go king a1.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, wait, sorry. Rook b8, king a1. You can go bishop a3.
You can, but then you
you just-
knight takes queen, and then there's knight b3.
And they have this sneaky backwards move.
Yeah, or even like if knight b3 wasn't there, queen b3 is, and that's
Yeah,
also
it's-
enough.
Yeah, that's also enough. But
So this all looked
Yeah.
losing to me, so I
Yeah,
didn't want to
it's-
play this way.
okay.
But I
Fair
saw
enough.
this interesting line that
Okay.
happened in the game where he plays
F6.
queen c4, and I have this rook b8 move, and
Uh-huh.
I thought it looked quite awkward for white,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't really see what he
So
was
did
doing.
you see bishop c1?
I saw bishop c1, of
Bishop
course, and
C1,
the plan was rook b2. I obviously was considering bishop b2 as well, but I thought,
That
bishop,
would be a draw, right?
bishop b2 would be a draw?
No? Takes?
No, I'm sorry. I meant instead of rook b2, maybe.
Oh, okay. I
But-
thought bishop b2, king b1.
yeah,
is a draw.
that would be a draw.
So that's what
agreed.
I showed you, and
That's kind of what I expected, actually, because I thought queen c4 I would have some really decent chances.
yeah,
Um,
queen c4. Actually, we were kind of on the same wavelength. I thought that this is going to end in a draw with bishop
Yeah.
b2. Queen c4, I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, I thought, okay, maybe rook b8, and there's actually really something going
Yeah,
on
rook
here.
b8 looks very nice. Bishop f4, I was totally shocked with bishop f4.
I was expecting, actually, a bishop move. In my head, I didn't really discern
Yeah.
a difference between e3 and f4, but I thought, okay, maybe he moves this bishop to defend the pawn. I'm not sure how else he actually defends rook b1.
Yeah. So bishop f4 takes. I honestly thought that you have full compensation. Must be much better.
I was
What
actually,
did you feel?
I was happy, but unfortunately, I spent all my time calculating
Yeah.
these lines, and
Knight d3.
I couldn't find a way to
Rook
actually.
b5. Did you miss rook h2? Did you miss this idea?
So I missed that I didn't have. I thought c2 would be winning after
Oh,
rook
okay.
takes h2 originally, but then but yeah, rook b5 I don't think was the best square because I thought I should go to b6 instead maybe, so I have a rook c6 option. Because b5 is just really awkward because I can't play rook
Yeah.
c5 ever, which
Yeah.
became kind of a problem.
Yeah. I was even considering why not bishop b2.
Bishop
Takes,
b2?
then rook takes b2.
Bishop b2, I thought king b1.
King b1. That brave. And rook e2.
Bishop takes b8.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's kind of a problem. Yeah. Ah, okay. So the king b1 interjection.
Yeah.
Okay. So rook. Yeah, probably you should have put the rook on b6.
I think rook b6, and I actually have very decent chances
Yeah.
to win.
Yeah.
Because rook c6 it was going to be a huge threat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you would untangle.
Yeah. Because as you're mentioning, take c2, and now the rook can actually go to c6.
Yeah, and
So
but even in the game line, I wasn't. He found a very creative way to get
Yeah.
like untangle his pieces,
Yeah,
but I
C2.
couldn't see how he could move anything, which was
Yeah.
kind of interesting. So I
Bishop
wasn't
d2.
sure about this f6 e5 plan. Actually.
No, that was a really good plan. It
I
was
thought,
practically very good.
I thought maybe if I played a5 a4, I could kind of.
But if he does the same thing and go bishop d2, bishop c3.
So yeah, a5,
So that's
bishop
a5.
Yep. a4.
Oh. Bishop c3.
And so now we'll play f6.
Okay.
I
but
just
can
I
go
want my
bishop
pawn
b2.
bishop b2, not
Not
knight b2.
knight.
So you thought knight b? Okay, I was only calculating
Oh,
knight
okay.
b2.
Because I'm going to exchange it off and round up the c2 pawn. I think this is
Yeah,
this is even worse
but
than a
no, I
game.
mean bishop d6 now, and then the point was
Okay,
that I
but
would
rook
have
c1?
a3.
And bishop c3.
There's really
There's
okay,
nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing. I just round up the pawn and I win.
Yeah, I mean this was all going through
No,
my head.
f6
But yeah,
was,
f6.
I think was a very good practical choice.
Fair enough.
e5
Yep.
here, e4 takes, knight b2. Yeah, rook g5 was probably not that good, but maybe you missed bishop d2, I guess. Rook g5.
No,
What were you
well, I
thinking
mean, what
here?
else do I play? I have to start taking pawns, I think, because
Well-
I don't see a way to maintain my c2 pawn.
Yeah,
anymore.
or maybe just come with your king closer and then try
Yeah.
to go f5. Because he'll need some time anyways to untangle.
Yeah, I'm just imagining if I could play rook c6 here, how great my position would be.
That
But
is true.
It's
but
just unfortunate.
That's the regret we always feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, and whatever, he played like a chess god, and he
Yeah. No, he played very, very well to
Yeah.
get out of this.
Yeah, that's...
I thought that endgame probably I'm losing, right? In the
yeah.
end.
Yeah, it was...
Especially the king f8 move was very, very bad by me.
Yeah, but this, as some engines were saying, +1.
So it should maybe be drawn then.
No, +1 is losing.
Okay.
So, yeah, king f8 was unfortunate, but I'd say that there's you have fighting chances.
Yeah, I mean, what if I just play h5 here?
No, that's a good idea.
I thought it was dangerous
Knight
for white.
takes a5.
h4.
And knight c4 and back.
h3.
Rook a3.
Rook
Rook
h5?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's getting dicey.
I'm quick. I'm quick, Dennis.
Yeah, you are quick.
Yeah, Dennis did.
Dennis
LaRue
yes.
trained me, but apparently I wasn't quick enough. I needed more.
No, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, h5 would have good drawing chances there. Anyways, but he had the comeback game,
Yes.
and I asked on air Ben if you're a stingy person, and he said no, as far as I remember, and you've been collecting pawns everywhere.
Were you expecting bishop d4?
Yes.
I considered it. You know,
And
I
can
just
you quote a game from bishop takes d4?
I can't quote a game actually.
It's my game against
It's your game?
Jones.
All right.
I
Did
was
you win
black.
that game?
No, I didn't.
You were black though.
I was black.
Well, fantastic. I should have played it.
Yeah.
No, I felt this bishop f8 to d6. I knew knight e8 is the main line instead of rook
yes.
e8, right? And so I thought something must be really wrong here.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I had done a little bit of practice, a little bit of looking at just the positions with e5. So I went for something I was familiar with because fresh off this loss where I, you know, sacrificed a piece in bold style and then...
So you felt that, let's...
It's like, you know,
keep it tight.
I'm more comfortable. It's a rapid game. I'll just play what I know.
Rook e1.
By the way, I've played d4 my whole life, and then leading up to this match, I was hinting to everyone that I was going to play e4. So I was quite happy with my c4 decision because Jonathan was not prepared
in
for
the
it.
c4 idea. So knight a3, you're just doing this routine plan. B5 takes. What would have you done if I take on b5?
Yeah, I was actually planning to give up the light squared bishop for the rook. I thought it would be quite good. Other than that, you know, I was also considering just knight back to a3.
Okay. So you consider yourself being better here?
I think so. I think maybe I can get in an f4 like right away.
Oh, okay.
And then,
Probably I can
it's
take.
dangerous,
It's getting complicated. I'm not saying black is better. I think that black has compensation.
Yeah, definitely. It's not like a full exchange.
Yeah.
But you know, I wasn't dead set on bishop c6. I was also planning maybe knight a3 instead.
Yeah.
And just coming back to c4.
Yeah. So okay, coming back to this one, a6. Why didn't you take on a6?
I was thinking he would sack an exchange. I was thinking ba6, rook b3.
And bishop a3.
Bishop a3. In my head, I was just calculating a7 and then queen a5, and I was nervous.
okay.
But bishop a3, I guess I have to take.
Take. Can take with the rook.
Okay, can I just play rook takes and queen a5 and round up that pawn?
Oh. Probably you can.
There's knight c4.
Knight c4.
But
e5
you know, you lose a4, I lose e5.
That's true.
It's kind of petering out, I thought.
Yeah. Well, I can also defend it. You might take it.
Yeah.
But I still own.
Yeah, this looks
good.
quite good for white actually. The line in the game though I thought also looked very, very nice.
Okay, knight a3 takes. I assume you missed bishop g4.
That was I played it so quickly and so confidently, and it was just it was so silly.
Finger feller, as they would say.
Yeah, I mean I think the last game actually got in my head a little bit. I was kind of forcing myself to play with some tempo and play quickly, but it's a very simple tactic to miss.
Here, take.
Thankfully, you know, f3's in the position.
Yeah, and I think e4 would have been a little bit painful.
I was expecting e4 actually, and I was quite nervous about it.
Yeah, because this looks like really good. Either if I put my knight here or d3.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was planning to just play e5 back and then...
and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
But,
looks dangerous for you. Though.
You know, that's I would say above Jonathan's rating, that sacrifice.
Ah, shots being fired.
He's-
Okay.
You know,
Queen
he needs a little bit
C6.
more before he can learn to sacrifice those
Queen
pawns
D8.
back.
And Ben was really, really mad when he saw Queen C5.
Yeah,
Why
is
didn't
that?
you play A6?
A6, just rook A7.
But what is that rook doing there? Like, you can take. This just looks really nice for you.
Yeah, if I take, there's rook B6.
Rook B6? Okay. Okay, I can see your point. Okay. Or maybe you move the queen now, and then if you attack, then you have bishop B7.
Queen B6, maybe.
B6?
I guess
Well,
you're
now
taking.
I can take on E5 too. Because you can't take because I take on B8.
Interesting. Yeah,
So-
I consider this.
I was a bit afraid of losing the pawn, I guess.
This looks a bit better.
Okay. So queen C5, E4, which is a pretty good move here. Knight G4. Maybe this was a waste of time. Knight G4 was.
Well, Jonathan, you know, he did. I don't know if you're aware of this. I was, you know, looking at his online profiles to see what he was up to during the days leading up to this match, and
Professional preparation.
you know, a couple Sundays ago, he did 1,000 tactics in one
Oh,
day.
I see.
So I think Jonathan spotted this Queen D4 nonsense from a long ways coming, and he's like, I've got to do it. I'm gonna
okay.
get him. I
Yeah.
think that's his mindset. But
Yeah.
Knight G4, yeah, that move just looks terrible in hindsight.
Probably D3 something.
Oh yeah,
Some-
D3.
Although E5, I guess.
I was planning to do something similar. Yeah, E5, and then I guess you're playing Knight D7. But
Probably
then
I can
it's
even have this sneaky idea of D2.
interesting.
Maybe,
do
maybe,
I ever?
maybe just rook D1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
this is nothing.
Simple,
you just
simple.
take. Simple.
Pawns hanging.
Pawns hanging. And after Knight G4, you did the classic rope-a-dope and Queen D6.
and it's just over now,
was
right?
just over.
There's not much left to do.
So,
Yeah, it made it a bit hard on myself with that Bishop D6 move. I think it was just crushing before that. But
yeah, it is a good comeback, and thank you for joining us.
yeah, no,
Good luck.
thank you for doing commentary. Thank you, Danny Machuga, for helping to set this up. Ben Simon for
And,
offering his time as well.
Good luck
and
for the next rounds.
yeah, thanks very much. I look forward to it.
Hello, chess fans, and welcome back once again to St. Louis for the most anticipated, the strongest expert-level chess match of all time, All In. Jonathan versus Caleb, where the match is tied 2-2, and we will decide it in Blitz. My name is Ben Simon, and I'm joined by the esteemed Grandmaster Denes Boros. We're having a good time today.
Yeah, this has been big fun.
Yeah, and before we get started with our Blitz rounds, the players are getting ready. We want to tell you, you're pretty excited about this upcoming exhibition at the World Chess Hall of Fame, Boros, aren't you? It's MC Escher Infinite Variations, and it opens on Thursday, May 2nd, across the street at the World Chess Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy, this whole match. And if you love crazy, you should check out MC Escher. Because
Escher had the stairwells that went
yes.
infinite, right?
Yeah, the infinite stairwells.
Yeah.
But I still love... It's actually an interesting thing. Have you ever thought about being in that stairwell?
If I'm in the right state of mind, I might.
You might.
Yeah.
I might have dreamt that. I'm sure many people dream that you're stuck in that stairwell and say, hey, I can never get out of here.
Well, it's going to be really cool, and it opens on Thursday, May 2nd at the World Chess Hall of Fame, and it runs through September. So if you can't make the opening, which is always a huge gala at the World Chess Hall of Fame, be sure to come by St. Louis. Hey, come by one of the tournaments, maybe the Sinkfield Cup. You can check out MC Escher Infinite Variations at the World Chess Hall of Fame. For more information, worldchesshof.org. Well, we'll come back to that a little bit later on. Our great sister organization, the World Chess Hall of Fame. Let's get to the action. We have up to 4 Blitz games to play. Let's see how they're doing up there in the tournament hall. I understand that Chief Arbiter Sam Shoiket has the players. Oh, hey, look at that. They've taken off the jackets, or at least Jonathan has. He's ready. He's showing the guns, flexing at the board, as we said.
No sleeves.
No sleeves. You can't have sleeves because remember, this is game in 5 with no delay, with no increment. It's sudden death. This game will be over in 10 minutes.
And they're doing the good old-fashioned match strategy. You choose an opening, you play your line. And we're back in the same Caro-Kann line that we just discussed like 20 minutes ago with Caleb. And he does the illegal castling, very well known to many people. That castling is super illegal.
I'm sorry, we actually had an illegal castle?
Yes, that's illegal castling. You can't castle like that.
I totally missed it. I got to be honest. I looked at
this is very famous since the match Nepomniachtchi-Nakamura, where Nakamura castled with this 2-hand castling, and it's frowned upon.
I really
by
can't.
the FIDE rules.
Yeah, but remember, we are under U.S. chess rules for this event.
True.
And I know that they differ. I honestly cannot keep up with the rule changes in that regard. The one-handed castle versus the two-handed castle. It seems like it changes every year, honestly. Mm-hmm. And I know that U.S. chess and the FIDE laws are not always aligned in precise situations such as these. So it could have been legal.
Well, probably. That big question is, and I'm asking the live audience, by USCF rules, is it legal to castle with holding both the rook and the king at the same time? Also, we can see Jonathan being in huge preparation, already mounting some pressure on Caleb, as Jonathan is flexing his muscles, playing really good chess with white so far.
And remember, this match is tied 2-2. The first player to get to 4.5 points clinches the match, and no more games will be played. It will be over. Now, if they split this 4-game Blitz series and the overall score is 4-4, then we're going to go to a 5-minute versus 4-minute Armageddon playoff. Winner take all. A draw will count in Black's favor. There must be a winner. F3.
Yeah, way too solid. I would like the F4 more. In fact, Caleb is insistent. Please play F4, please, 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 and he does. Caleb is doing fine, but I'd still kind of prefer Jonathan's position. But Rook H E1 made very little to no sense. I don't know why he played that. It really didn't do anything. Black is doing fine, but if anyone's better, it must be white. A5, B3. This is going to be a Karpovian game, Ben.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning a masterclass by somebody.
By somebody?
Somebody,
Okay.
yes. So far, white is exhibiting the signs of doing the masterclass.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it will necessarily happen, but there's a good chance. Take with the A-pawn. Yes, of course, you're trying to take towards the center. The only issue with black is the structure. Look at all those pawn islands, the A5, C6, and the rest of the pawns. Meanwhile, all of the pawns for white is in big chunks. G6 is the move that I don't like on the same reason, and the same principle. Now, there will be a potential weakness on H6, and there is a famous saying by the recently passed Dvoretsky, and also in many other Russian chronicles you can learn. You need exactly two weaknesses to win a game.
I've heard that, yes.
Right? Now, if we can count that, how many weaknesses does Caleb have in this position?
Well, he has weak A pawn.
Oh, one.
The C pawn is isolated.
Yeah, so that's two.
And, well, we might have one more over on the H side here in just a moment.
Yep, on H6.
So is it 3, am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
So that would be way more than enough. And if you look at the times, basically Jonathan is up a whole minute. And I think if Jonathan plays his cards right, he should win this game.
I want to give a shout out to Nick Risco upstairs because he is, to my knowledge, putting in the moves on leadchess.org manually from this. He does not have the direct link to this board right here. So thank you very much. It looks like he's keeping up with it somehow. The link to watch this game by yourself is in our description of this video.
And actually, Caleb is defending better than how Jonathan is handling the situation, because Caleb is trying to exchange off as many pieces as possible, therefore getting close to a draw. But the main issue is for white that without the rooks it's very hard to create chances. And it's a shame, because he should be close to crashing through, as we said, three weaknesses.
Right.
Now for that, now the problem is Caleb has the big problem that the king is on f7. It cannot really move because the h6 pawn will fall. The bishop on c7 is also stuck because the a5 pawn is a chronic weakness. Now Jonathan has to find the star move, and the star move would be somehow to break through with f5, or at least somehow to create a little bit of hole so his king can come through. Bishop b6. This is interesting.
Well, Jonathan just wants to get into a position where he's munching on pawns here.
Yes. Now he's also trying to get the king back. Bishop d2. That's interesting. Now f5 would be an interesting idea. Bishop c5. Very, very Karpovian, slow massaging going on. f5 might be interesting as well. But I think he's repeating too much.
Looks like we might have a draw here, you think?
But I don't see a reason why he wouldn't try harder. Why are you... Come on, you're better. King e4, bishop c3.
It's a draw.
And
The
they
game is
agreed to a
drawn.
draw.
Well, that was unexpected on some level. I mean, the match is still tied, 2.5 to 2.5. The first one to get 2 more points is the winner. We have 3 more Blitz games to go, everyone, and
But it was a regretful miss because he wasn't really risking anything. He needed to try another open up the position with f5, creating more problems, and just, or at least walk in with the king through e5 and try to attack the c6 pawn.
Do you think that Jonathan realized that? Do you think nerves got to him, or do you think he really just thought it was straight up draw, there was nothing left to press for?
I think Caleb did a nice psychological trick on him because he played confidently, quickly, like he knows what he's doing, when in fact he was in big trouble. And even the end when they shook hands, it felt like Caleb was forcing his will on Jonathan.
Yeah.
And he was tricked into accepting the fate of a draw. And sometimes that does happen, like he was showing off that what are we doing here, this is going to be a draw by repetition anyways, when in fact he had good chances of winning.
Well, Gus Janetin in our chat has an interesting take on it. He thinks Jonathan knows or knew he will be smashed if he tried anything, and that's why the draw came about.
Well, practically there's no chance of being crushed in that position, so there's nothing to lose there. So in these positions with only bishops and kings on the board, you can try as much as you like, and you should, because there's no chance of losing.
Akash in the chat says, Jonathan should have pushed. There's no increments. He had a slightly better position.
Yeah.
I think that might be the consensus around here. But we will see what happened. We'll see what happens later on. I understand that we do have our correspondent, Dennis LaRue, standing by once again for another edition of From the Street. Let's go to Dennis LaRue in his corner.
Thanks again, guys. What a bunch of exciting games we're looking at today. Let's take a look at this position again. Now, some of the viewers may have pointed out that Black may have more than one option besides G8, and to them I have to say, oh, look at me, I can calculate, oh, I can see that after the bishop moves, it's a checkmate. I hope you guys are proud of yourselves. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Dennis. Interesting insight there from the former cornerman of Caleb Denby. That we saw him in the opening shots with the chicken chase, straight out of Rocky 2. And hey, who knows? Maybe down the line, this will give Caleb a victory.
Yeah, it's very interesting because Caleb.
Oh, hey, look, the players ready. I think
here.
the players are ready for their fourth game overall and their second Blitz game. Let me open up our next, let's get a shot of the board here. I don't even know if we'll need this digital board, but we'll have it just in case we need it. Add live PGN. And they are off. They are off. The players have switched colors. Caleb has the white pieces in this event.
And they're following the same game. They're playing the same line. She's interesting. Oh, and they're in big rush. She's interesting. 98. So as Caleb told me, he was expecting 98 more. And didn't play rook e8 this time. f6, rook e1, e5. And it's all mainline theory. But as Jonathan takes a pause, it's going to be very interesting here. Because whoever wins this will have kind of a substantial lead.
Well, it's getting more substantial as time goes on,
Yes.
right? I mean, each of these Blitz games is worth 1 point. Both players are at 2.5. You need to get to 4.5 to win outright.
Yeah.
And we will have a playoff if necessary. It will be a winner-take-all Armageddon if this thing is tied 4-4 after the next 3 Blitz games. This is one, and then there's 2 more Blitz games after it.
And I don't know if this is a blunder or a sacrifice, but it's interesting. The b7 pawn was on pre for a long, long time, and now it's busted. It's totally busted for Caleb.
What?
With-
Already?
With the knight ending on c5, double attacking on b3 and d3. Beautiful positional play by Jonathan, and inexplicable mistakes by Caleb not taking on b7 while he still could. This is just terrible news. And will he survive? I do not think so. With that knight, that eagle soon to land on d3 will just destroy and cause havoc.
And
in
this isn't
Caleb's
fairy
army.
chess, but that knight does have wings. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
that knight does have wings.
Absolutely.
And that look by Caleb, it's the look of a sad man. Not a sandman, a sad man.
He definitely knows what it's like to be the sad man.
But I think he has blue eyes.
Have to look behind him. Did Jonathan is rocking that 10-year anniversary St. Louis Chess Club shirt. You know, the St. Louis
And
Chess
he
Club.
actually looks younger in that one.
Well, he was the same one he was wearing last round. We're just seeing it
yeah.
the other side. But yeah, I mean, we celebrated the 10th anniversary of the St. Louis Chess Club last July with just a big all-day event. I mean, the entire chess campus just had activities. It was nuts. But yeah, we all got those cool T-shirts too.
And actually, Caleb gave a choice to Jonathan to take on d3 or win the exchange. And as you would listen to me, I would take the pawn, because that would have totally destroyed the structure of Caleb's. Now, it's not that the position is not totally winning for Jonathan, but the other one would have been cleaner. Also, let's look at the time. Jonathan has a full minute advantage. And he's the true Blitz expert. And it seems that it actually works. The quicker they get, the better Jonathan plays compared to Caleb.
Well, it's what we're seeing today, and Jonathan with the black pieces pressing with an advantage. Super important part of this match right here.
And look at those nonverbals. He's like polishing his nails. He's kind of feeling the victory within his grasp. John is feeling it.
You're just a master of emotions at the board, aren't you?
Well, you have to learn the nonverbals to be a good player. At least you experience them, sadly. You shouldn't, but you do experience those things. Now, this looks magnificent for Jonathan.
So, okay, queen to a8.
Looks a little bit weird, but it's still very good for him. But at least he defended the pawn. Queen a4, going very aggressive, planning to plant the queen on b3, attacking the d3 pawn. Oh, but knight takes d4 sacrifice. But is this working? This might not work, because rook takes b2 might actually end. And I think queen takes e7, he might have missed the bishop d5 counter tactic. And he misses it. And bishop d5, and it's over. And suddenly,
For Caleb? Caleb is winning?
yes. And emotions go rampant.
Oh, look at that.
Another rope-a-dope by Caleb. He was on defensive.
They're not even going to shake hands. I mean, we don't have audio up there. I'm sure Jonathan verbally is saying it. Is the game over? Or
The game is over. It's checkmate on the board.
Okay, there it is.
So, a heartbreaking loss for Jonathan. And the biggest mistake was...
Oh, he's disgusted. He's disgusted.
It was he rushed too much, even though he could have been winning easily.
Can you show us here on our board? Can we get our digital board up?
Yes.
I'd like to see what we're talking about.
So, even in this critical moment, he could have taken on d3 and it's easy win. even if it's just a pawn, he took a critical pawn on d3, and this position will collapse. He decided to give the eagle for that measly rook. Takes, rook a2, which is very nice. And queen a8 is just too artificial. Just play a normal move, play queen d7, and just chill. And you're just winning. Played queen a8, and the problem is that the queen is offsides. Bishop b2, queen a4, knight takes d4. And as far as I could understand, there was this idea of rook takes b2 here. If the queen takes, there's no more tricks. There's nothing to take on e7 anymore. So you have to take with the rook. But then I check you first. You have to either block with the queen or the bishop. But if you block with the bishop, I takes, and I take your rook. And this would have been a win. The bishop is not ready to jump to d5. Takes, and he was way too focused on winning some stuff. But after queen c2, tragedy struck, and bishop d5 here, queen takes f8, and that was the end of it. And Caleb survived and even won the game.
Yeah, that was that. Hey, that's Blitz. You know, what
This
a
is
crazy
Blitz.
turn of events.
But Jonathan deserves a talk because he was doing great before the tragedy struck. I think he didn't use his time. If he would have used his allocated extra 2 minutes, he would have won this game.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, we have up to 2 games to go. Remember, in the next game, if Caleb wins, the match is over because he stands at 3.5 points. You need to get to 4.5. Jonathan has only 2.5. A single game means so much at this point in time. And we saw Caleb just win with the white pieces. Very unexpected, this white victory for him. But he's got to be feeling good. What I'd like to do now is we got to go to Dennis LaRue with another segment from the street. It's Dennis LaRue's Corner. Dennis, take it away.
Hey, thanks, guys. Things are getting really intense up there. I'm here to help offer some insight just into chess in general. Now, many new to chess or even experienced club players are of the opinion that white is slightly better in the starting position. Stockfish and many other engines give us an evaluation of white being up 0.2, roughly the value of a quarter of one of these guys. To them, all I have to say is take a look at this line. Where's your advantage now, white? Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Dennis. I think that will do it. So it is 3.5 points for Caleb Denby, 2.5 for Jonathan Schrantz. And we have potentially just one last Blitz game if Caleb can wrap it up, but we have 2 left in regulation. The winner will be the first player to get to 4.5 points. And we have some comments here on YouTube. A person whose name is in characters I cannot read says, Jonathan, get Caleb'd, you foolish little man. Okay, that's an interesting changing of someone's name. Okay. Peter Sturm is stunned. He says, Jonathan, that bad? Akash says LMAO, and Ajon Anthony says, haha. This is brutal. Poor Jonathan. Do you think Caleb considers himself a true genius? Well, that's something we have to ask Caleb, don't you think?
We'll have to ask them.
Right.
Later on.
Thank you all for joining us here in the YouTube chat. We will be reading your comments for the duration. Hey, the players are in the boardroom and they are ready for rapid number 3. Here we go. This is it. Caleb, if he can win with black, he will be the champion.
So actually, Jonathan's surprised Caleb slightly, because instead of facing a Catalan, now he is facing the Catalan of Jonathan's. Now, it's all theory so far, And we're in main theory, which, as we know, is the cup of tea of Jonathan's, because he is the big opening explained expert. Now they seem to be struggling to remember this very theoretical line, which was actually played by none other than Fabiano Caruana, as he was facing Dingliran with the black pieces. But it does seem that Caleb might be out of book here. Now this is a very sharp line. As we can see, Caleb gave away his rook for a light piece, which means rooks are overrated.
Well, it's good that he subscribes to that.
And
as
actually,
well.
a blunder by, as far as I can see, is a blunder by Caleb. Bishop f4, yes, and the knight is dropping. Yes, and this is almost resignable for Caleb. Bishop f5, and now the killer move, e4, counterattacking the piece. So far, so good for Jonathan. It would be a clutch performance, right? If he ties.
It would be amazing. I mean, what a picturesque finish it would be. Imagine a winner-take-all Blitz 4, the last Blitz game. That's what we could be looking at.
Look into the eyes of Jonathan Schrantz. Look how he's blazing for glory. And Caleb realized it. He realized he messed up big time. That 1 point advantage, whoosh, out the window. And it's an open question who will become the meme of the day.
Dennis, do you compete in a lot of rated Blitz games, whether in tournaments or anything?
I do. I occasionally play in tournaments, online tournaments.
Oh, but it's just online.
Oh, no, I do play at the board as well.
I see. Okay.
I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. But I think you can tell that they're a bit new to Blitz time controls. Because you have 4 minutes and you play a nervous bishop takes a7. You have 4 minutes. You have a lot of time. There's not enough time. It's just too much time to get nervous for. Do you play, by the way, Blitz?
I love Blitz. And, you know, it was just, I think only a few years ago that US Chess added a Blitz rating category. Before it was just regular and quick. And so I couldn't tell you what my Blitz US Chess rating is, but I really like Blitz. A lot of people are divided on it. They're like, well, it's good for playing outside casually, but Blitz rating doesn't mean anything. I think I subscribe more to the idea that I think it can mean something. You know, it shouldn't necessarily be it shouldn't be weighted the same as classical, but it's certainly worth something, and I do enjoy playing Blitz.
So talking about Blitz, Caleb is again finding very good counterplay, and now Jonathan really needs to be on his toes to defend against that deadly bishop d4 check that is about to happen. I'm wondering if he'll stop that. Actually, that's almost a must. Now, oh my god, bishop takes b6, huge blunder. Because bishop d4 now allowed, and bishop d3 is coming. And bishop d3 is coming, and
no.
Another heartbreaking.
Oh my gosh. That's going to be it? That's going to be it, right?
Well, it's not mate yet, but it's
slow,
the end is nigh.
Slow, painful death here.
Yes.
For Mr.
I don't know
Schrantz.
what Shakespeare would say here.
And I think this. I think the 3 prior games, or no, this is the 5th. This is the 5th overall.
Yeah.
So the previous 2 Blitz and the previous to wrap it, I think they were all wins for white. Am I right about that? I think they were.
Yes, you were right.
So this would be the first victory for black. And I realize quite well, everyone, that I am jinxing a potential victory here for Caleb. And based on what we've seen, the tides could
it's
change.
made in two, so...
No. Look, hey, this match has been crazy, okay?
Yeah. Takes. Mate.
My goodness.
Wow.
And Jonathan Schrantz has been wrecked. His reputation, which was on the line, is ruined. He can never show his face on the YouTube channel again, by his own admission. My goodness. He's got to be so embarrassed because your champion of all in Jonathan versus Caleb is Caleb Denby. 20 years old, a St. Louis native from Highland High School originally, lived here his whole life, and one of the club's favorite sons, and you can see him every Wednesday when it comes to the road to 2000. And I'm sure he'll have some extra pep in his step next Wednesday, and the next time you'll see that it's live, 6 p.m., right here on the St. Louis Chess Club YouTube channel. Well, we want to have these players down here to talk in the studio, go over some analysis, maybe their favorite moments, and talk about how awesome Caleb is feeling and how crushed and devastated and demoralized Jonathan is.
Yeah. But I do have to give it to Jonathan. He put a brilliant fight. And it wasn't 3-1.
No.
I have to tell you, this wasn't 3-1.
No.
And according to the games, it could have been 3-1 for Jonathan.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the way it turns out, 4.5 match points total for Caleb Denby. Jonathan comes away with 2.5. And so, is that right? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the wins were for white.
Yeah.
And there was the draw. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, 4.5 to 2.5. Yeah. Okay. Well, we always have something big going on here at the St. Louis Chess Club, especially on our YouTube channel. Remember, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night, typically, we will have live lectures. For the first time ever, we just started doing this. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, we have My Greatest Losses, where you see grandmasters being forced to talk about their greatest losses. That's from 6:30 to 7:30. We have on Thursday nights Viewer's Choice, where you can submit your games and the Grandmaster looks at them. That's from 6:30 to 7:30. And then at 7:30 to 8:30 Central Time, we have the Grandmaster look at games from the Romantic era, any time basically before the 20th century. And then, of course, every Wednesday, 6 to 7, live on our YouTube channel, The Road to 2000, with our champion of all in, Caleb Denby. And Caleb is here in the studio ready to be interviewed. So while we're getting him ready, let's take a look at games here. Or should we go to break? Let me know what we got to do here. All right. Well, let's see the aftermath in the tournament hall, and we'll be back in just a moment with Caleb Denby, our all-in champion.
everyone. And instead of the winner, we have the moral winner
No.
of the event.
Not even.
Not even.
No, it was tough today. It was tough out there. This Caleb guy, he's too tough.
People were slamming you.
They should. I mean, you saw me play.
And
I would be slamming me too.
I have to say
Yeah, what were they saying?
that they said that 3-1 should be the proper result.
Okay.
When in fact, I disagree.
Yeah,
you
but-
should have won 1-3.
Is that because I lost the games?
No,
Doesn't
you
matter.
lost the games,
Yeah.
but you were winning the matches.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I feel like a lot of it comes down to fatigue, really. It was really tough. I mean, just playing this much chess, it doesn't seem like a lot. But you know, I don't know. Just today it was a tough go. And I feel like I played well for most of the game, but it just doesn't matter.
In fact, I felt that the lack of moral support during the match
I know.
felt.
He has a lot of fans. And,
Yeah,
you know,
he has a lot of fans.
They were there for
Also, the fact that he came down as a comeback boy, because he
Yes.
just equalized at that moment,
Yeah.
inadvertently he learned a lot from me,
Oh.
of course.
Well,
But
okay.
the thing is that
Yeah, I can't read the chat.
many of you had the issue of dealing with time.
Right.
What happened? Why do you guys get nervous at 5 minutes on the clock?
Chess is hard, and I don't like playing it. And all my energy went into that first game. Everything went into that first game, and then after that, you know, I'm a dad of all these kids. I get tired. And
Yeah, but
he's a young man.
your first game was brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah.
Some people right here called you God of Chess,
Wow. That's.
which is unreasonable.
You shouldn't
we
have if you knew what
understand.
was coming. Yeah.
But it was amazing.
Thank
And
you,
actually,
yeah.
I want to come. I showed this to Caleb
All
as
right.
well.
Let's do some chess. I love chess.
Yes. So let me load it up. So at this moment,
Yeah.
Rook B8. I assume you didn't expect what he was trying to do after Rook B8, right?
What? Knight C3?
Knight C3.
Yeah, of
yes.
course. I thought I blundered a piece, so I played F3.
So you played F3. And at this moment, and I'm being very polite here. I'm asking the same exact question that I asked Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that you would become a meme after playing F3?
No.
No? Why not?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a winning move.
Exactly.
It might not be, but I felt
so
like
you
I'm
kind
doing
of
very
felt
well.
that the meme is on him.
Yeah.
And you
he's-
proved him.
And he put his
proved
knight
him.
where I could take it.
Yeah.
So I took it.
Okay. Ah, so this was a deep psychological
Yeah.
ploy by you.
Well, I mean, if he retreats, he's obviously like way worse. So he's
Yeah.
gonna play knight C3.
It was funny. He said that he should have gone away to knight
Yeah.
F6, which
Well, you're just
which
you're
is a
super
hilarious
worse, you
idea.
know, 'cause-
Yes.
Yeah.
And after here, you were confident that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was winning. I
win.
definitely didn't see a win
Mm-hmm.
for him. So I feel like I
Yeah.
must be doing at least okay here.
So I was kind of amused and felt respectful toward you going bishop f4. Was that your first thought in this position that bishop f4 and that's it?
Yeah, I had
You're a
seen.
goner.
Well, no, I had no idea what the truth.
Okay.
I mean, I'm obviously worried because
Okay.
maybe I'm getting checkmated and
Okay.
there's some line I'm missing. But no, I thought I was doing quite well after bishop f4. I mean,
Okay.
because I had already
Did
seen.
you consider bishop takes b2?
Well, yeah, but it loses, right? I
Bishop
assumed.
b2, and if I take back,
You're taking with the bishop.
and king b1.
Yeah. Is this
Well,
at
why
least
is
a
it
draw?
lost?
Or is it
It's a
draw at
draw.
least? But I thought I could win.
See, Jonathan's a good player. He doesn't even consider draws.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did see that, but I thought maybe I'm winning.
Yeah. So
I
bishop
thought
f4.
I'm certainly not worse, so
yeah,
I tried to
bishop
win.
f4 was a boss move. Rook takes. And how did you evaluate this?
So I was
Yeah.
pretty sure I wasn't losing.
Okay.
I think the question is, am I winning or not?
Okay.
So I was very happy here, and I
Okay.
was already dreaming of victory.
Knight d3, rook b5, rook h2.
Yeah, mhm.
And was it like a tactic that you spent so little time and he spent like oceans?
Yeah, he did think a lot, but I mean, he's got to somehow justify this sacrifice,
that's
and
true.
I just have to defend. So it was.
And
actually,
then you just crushed him.
yeah,
And
obviously,
it's like magnificent play, you crushed him.
yeah.
All right. So I think the other critical moment was this one.
Game 2.
Game of the Blitz session.
Okay. Yeah, I want to talk about the blitz.
Here,
Am I winning here? Do I have some plan?
well, I'm sure you're familiar how many weaknesses your opponent needs to lose.
2 maybe?
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. He has actually 3.
Yeah.
So here, I
just run
do
the
not
king in?
understand why you went for the draw. And
Yeah, a lot of it too had to do with the match. Obviously, I didn't know I was going to
Okay.
like lose the next 2 games.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's just I don't know, whatever. Just
Yeah.
make it run. I was actually looking to get back. I thought I'd get better
Yeah.
positions with white.
Yeah.
Black. Sorry.
so, I mean, you could have gone king
Yeah,
e5 and f5 ideas.
Yeah, this is quite clear now. But
And
in the heat of the moment.
yeah, I see. Or even f5s here. Because if you can get closer,
Yeah.
I'm sure that eventually
Yeah.
he will have to.
And it was also up, I think, a slight amount of time. So also flagging came into consideration. but-
Yeah.
And
I
it was
thi-
just the first Blitz
yeah.
game, and it was already.
And I kind of
equal
noticed
match.
that, like, if you would have slowed down, you would have been much in the match.
Ooh, think. Yeah.
Yeah, if you would have thought like
Oh, yeah,
1 or
100%
2
though.
more minutes,
Yeah, 100%.
because in the other games, for discretion reasons, we're not going to see.
You can say it. I'm sure they're saying it here on YouTube. What's going on here?
So definitely you had totally winning positions there.
Yeah.
And if you would
If I
have
slow down and
slowed down,
maybe win when I'm winning.
and I felt sometimes you played too aggressively
Yeah.
when you could have been very conservative, just defending everything. And actually, that's what grandmasters do. They defend their stuff. That's it.
Yeah. That's, you
They-
guys are
they-
good.
They're not doing anything. They just defend their stuff, and therefore they're winning.
Yeah.
And
I
even
could
though a
disagree.
very good comeback
Yeah. It was a tough
planned for the last round.
Mhm.
So how do you feel now? Feel like playing another match tomorrow?
Nah, I feel okay. I mean, I generally
Okay.
play like okay. It would be nice to get into this someday when I'm in the proper mood and I'm actually here. And I don't know who I'd play. I'd play Caleb again. He was a great partner, and this was a fantastic event. So I'm glad you guys are doing commentary, and I want to give my big congrats to Caleb. So he played pretty well today too.
Congrats to Caleb. And after the break, we'll have the champion.
Hooray!
Hello, chess fans, and welcome back to St. Louis. I'm here with a very special guest, Ben Simon, alongside the champion of All In 2019, the first ever, no one can ever say that again, Caleb Denby from Highland, Illinois. Caleb, what do you have to say first and foremost to all of the chess fans out there who had confidence in you and knew you could do it?
Yeah, I just want to say, you don't have to play good chess to win matches. You just have to, you just have to keep playing. Even when you hang all your pieces, your opponent sometimes hangs checkmate back.
We just talked to Jonathan in here, and one of the points that was brought up was the draw in the Blitz.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you?
I was definitely surprised he offered the draw. I don't know. He said that I had a slight time edge, but I didn't even really notice that. And I didn't really think he was risking anything in that position, so it was interesting. I was definitely relieved to get it, but it wasn't like a shock or anything.
So, any moments you want to go through in any of the games?
Well, I mean, it's tough because I hung all my pieces every game, but I'll see if I can find anything interesting here.
So this is the second Blitz game.
So
you
yeah,
have here.
in the second Blitz game here, So obviously I hang this knight c5 move, which is just incredibly obvious in hindsight. So, you know, I'm interested. I guess queen d2 is just a huge mistake. But I wasn't sure what else I should do instead, because it's kind of awkward already. So I think maybe just like a bishop c1 here for white. I guess that also runs into knight c5. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It was an awkward position. Jonathan definitely improved over the first game we had in this line, so I was, you know, I was definitely a bit nervous here already. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the games kind of speak for themselves. He played better early on and won some material, but then he was just, I think, felt some nerves. I felt some nerves as well, and you know, played a little bit too fast, a little bit too quickly, and ran into some big mistakes.
There was a lot of trash talk going on before this match.
Yeah.
And sometimes after you see a big fight or a big match in combat sports, the guys come out and they say, hey, good match, man. Like, you know, that was done to promote the fight or whatever. But I know that what we did was 100% real. But what would you say to Jonathan now?
Yeah, I mean, just thanks for playing. You know, it's a big deal to get this match together, and it's it's a lot of work to, you know, try and prepare for it and play. And I had a great time doing it. Definitely got the adrenaline pumping, and you know, it's all thanks to him agreeing to do this and playing some chess with me, which, you know, it's always a good time.
So what's next for you?
You know, I guess I'm on to the next opponents to, you know, find out if there's anybody in this town who can beat me in a match, which yet it's yet to be done.
All right. Well, 1-0 in all-in history is pretty good, and you can still. Both of you and Jonathan said that there was so much on the line in terms of the reputation.
Yeah.
You know, where does Jonathan go from here?
Well, I imagine he's going to quit his job and leave the state.
Oh.
But, you know, I'll leave that up to him to decide. But in all seriousness, I mean, he played very well. He had a lot of winning positions in most games, if not every game. So he's got nothing to be ashamed of leaving today.
Would you give him a rematch?
Absolutely. Yeah, anytime, any place. I'll be here.
Maybe we might see that. Maybe all in too. I know there's a lot of people banging on the door, though. Julian Proleko, I'm looking at you. So, hey, who knows? There's a lot more coming down the pike. And although you don't win any money, it was all about the pride and glory in this event. Any final words before we let you go?
Yeah, again, I just want to thank Danny Machuca, thank you, Ben, thank Denes Boros, Dennis LaRue for all his expert training, even though he did end up losing his role there. And, you know, and Jonathan, Sam Shoykat, Perry Colson, everybody who put this thing together. It was a lot of fun. All
right. Well, once again, the champ, Caleb Denby, all in. It's all him. And when we come back, we'll have final thoughts with me and Denes Boros. Hello, we're back for closing thoughts here for the first ever All-In, Jonathan versus Caleb. We have a champ. His name is Caleb Denby. My name is Ben Simon. He's Grandmaster Denes Boros. And what we saw was youth emerging victorious over experience.
Yep. But experience was putting up a tough resistance.
Yeah, and I thought it was a pretty good match. I mean, the betting odds, according to Mike Kummer, favored Caleb Denby, but Jonathan made it really entertaining, and I'm really glad that after both of the rapids were completed, the match was tied. Because that would have been really lame if it was a sweep going into the Blitz, right? It just takes one game to end it.
But I felt that this match could have become a thriller if Jonathan would have handled his time better, managed it, and would have used a bit more time when he was already winning, because he had many, many chances to come back to the game.
Mm-hmm.
There could have been any other different reasons why he didn't, but he was always there chasing Caleb.
You know what I like? This match was really heated coming in. There was a rivalry on the line. But even with a 5-minute, no delay, no increment stipulation, the players never had a disagreement. The arbiter never needed to intervene. It was a very gentlemanly battle. In the end, it's a handshake that settled it. Caleb was the better man today, but he may not be in the future. We'll see what happens coming down the pike. We want to remind you, though, that coming up in May, the next time that we're broadcasting a live chess event, it's going to be the first leg of the Grand Chess Tour 2019. It's bigger than ever. And we're going to start it in Africa for the first time in Cote d'Ivoire. The Ivory Coast will host 10 or 12 of the world's best players in the first stop on the Grand Chess Tour. We can't wait to bring it to you. And I think we might have it in Russian as well. So for those of you alternate language speakers, be sure to join us here at the St. Louis Chess Club YouTube channel, and even more, grandchesstour.org. So I think that's going to do it for today, Mr. Boros. Thank you for being my partner. We need to do this again. I think we had a good time, good awesome team. So,
Play the people.
Oh yes, Mike Kummer. Mike Kummer has made an appearance in the studio. He's reminding everyone to play the people. We are streaming like every day on Twitch here at the St. Louis Chess Club, right out of Studio B. So check it out every day except for Monday, basically.
Stay tuned.
So yes, stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. So until May and Cote d'Ivoire, for Grandmaster Denes Boros, my name is Ben Simon. We say so long from the Show Me State.